Mic check. Again, it doesn't work. Hello, mic check.
Mic check.
All right, we're here. Finally worked. All right, Jorge, I'm pulling you in right now. Okay. Well, show me what's going on, everybody. What's up, Lynn Schaefer? What's up, Todd Porter? Short Bus Scotty, Todd Porter, William Roche, Perry Matz, Bradford, Brashford. Okay, let's rock and roll. Jorge, I'm going to get you in here, you sweet boy, you. Okay, here he is. He's got a good mic, too. What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. He had a power outage earlier. How's everyone doing? Let us know what you're drinking. What's up, Lex Steele? What's up, you Braj? What's up, Pittsburgh? How are you, man? I'm drinking Jorge. I can hear you.
I hear you too.
I can't see you, though, man. You're playing hide and seek. Gotta Get Up to Get Down by Wiseacre out of Memphis, Tennessee, right here. I bought this as a shot in the dark, but we're going to drink it tonight and see if it's good or not, man. Jorge, are you there, Brush?
I am, yeah. I'm trying to turn this on. I don't know what the hell's going on. There you go.
There he is. What's up, sir? Oh, he's got the Genius t-shirt on as well, man. How are you, my dude? There he is.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I'm good. I don't think you've been on since I moved offices around. Last time.
Not.
Yeah, last time I was here, I was in my first room, man. How's it going down there in Puerto Rico?
It's good to be here. It's going great. It's
Besides,
one of the hottest summers for a few years now.
Yeah.
It's been ridiculous. Like right now, I'm here. I don't have a fan. It's not that bad now because it rained a little bit during the day, but it's been hell. But yeah, we're still working, still moving the brewery, still. We're not set up in our new space. We're still out brewing out in our old space. So it's been fun. We've been releasing a lot of beers though. Been releasing like weekly, almost like a new beer weekly.
there you go. Good man.
Tomorrow we have the release of we brewed what we're calling a Kovaik lager.
Okay.
It was brewed with Lutra and mostly Cascade. So it's just aromatic, a little bit of bittering, but just mostly aroma. But it's been a cool summer. It's been we've been getting back into doing smaller events also, which we haven't done in quite a while. And people have been loving it, man. It's like they were waiting for us to get back to kind of into shape with that too, because we kind of given up on events for a while after COVID and all that. And during the pandemic, we didn't have any events at all. So it's good to be able to do that again. So it's been fun. It's been great.
Well, welcome back, my dude.
Having a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. It's great.
Absolutely, man.
I love to be here.
You are.
Todd Porter.
Are you not drinking as always?
I
You don't drink when you come on, man.
I'm drinking this thing, which is a sparkling water with lime and mint.
Well, right on, man.
I have to get up early, man.
No, I hear you, and I'll drink some beers for you, man. Even though I shouldn't be drinking, because me and Jess and Aliaz and Noam, we had a killer time in Austin last weekend. But
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
it was hot out there. But for those who don't know, this is Jorge. He's been on here maybe about 3 or 4 times, at least.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. He's down there in Puerto Rico. It's interesting. He's got a 3-barrel system. I've got him on Instagram. There's an Instagram link in the bio of the video you're watching right now. Even if you guys can't go down to Aguadilla, the west side, never eat shredded meat, the west side of Puerto Rico, you can still show him some love on his social media. And I did notice you guys were putting out a lot of cans this weekend. Is it tough getting aluminum down there? Because I know on an island, it's just tougher for you to get things in general.
It's just the logistics problem comes down really to how many things do I need that I can actually fill up a container and bring it over because it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So that it becomes sort of like a timing thing. It's like, okay, I need cans, but do I also need grain? Do I also need
Get it all together.
Yeah, so we can just put all of that stuff into just one shipment and just bring it down because it's so expensive. And our electric just went up again, even though we've been having all this power outages I told you about and telling you about this past week.
Two
I've
for
had two
two.
power outages.
2 for 2. I've talked to you a couple times, and both times I talked to you, you said you were dealing with power outages.
Yeah, yeah. So it's very difficult in terms of like utilities and logistics. But I mean, we're not that big of a brewery, so we don't have to worry about. We can't get this hop to make this exact beer, so we can always pivot and do something different. So it's a big relief to be able to just do whatever the hell we want. So.
Okay. I hear you. You sound perfect on my end, but we're getting some people talking about how they cannot hear you. Let me figure this out really fast. Let me try new audio.
Mic is up.
No, you sound good on my end, but I've got to, if you sound good on my end, that means the problem is on my end. That's what that means. So I'm going to go to audio out, and we're going to go to, let me see here. Sorry, guys. We'll be with you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Anybody has any questions in the chat? Just wanna
Yeah.
shoot while,
Put them in the chat. Put your questions in the chat. Jorge can write to you guys. Let me see what's going on really fast.
we're also
Because you sound great. You sound really good.
Thank you, man. The same mic that you have. This exact thing.
Let's see what we got going on now. Yeah.
We just got invited by, which is a trip because
Should work now.
We just got invited by the mayor of Aguadilla to a festival there, beer festival. They're putting on a beachfront beer festival. It's going to be awesome. Late October, I think.
Okay. When it cools down a little bit.
What's that?
When it cools down a little bit.
Kind of. It doesn't really ever cool down until
Thanks, Todd Porter.
probably February. It's just hot all the time here. It's like, when you come down here, just bring your swim trunks and flip flops because it's.
I'm coming down, man. I'm pretty vacationed out for at least a month, but
I know
I'm gonna come down Aguadilla because I found plane tickets for only about $300 from Nashville or Knoxville. But I just need
really.
When it's outside of July and before November, tickets are a little bit cheaper. Everybody travels, does their family vacation in July, so the market value's up, and then everybody travels for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then if you find that good spot before that, and all you guys turned me on to Allegiant, the budget airlines,
heard of it.
Allegiant, and Spirit. And they're big.
Spirit is it's notorious for overcharging, for charging you for the ticket. They charge you like $40, and then they charge you for everything else a lot of money. So
But
I don't know.
But I'm in on that. I know what to do. Just buy the bare bones minimum, and bring whatever luggage you want to have on, and they don't check. They say they're going to charge you more if it's bigger. If it's wider than this and that. I've done it 4 times now. They don't give a shit. It's like I don't know. It's like one step maybe up or down from Southwest Airlines. It's not a premier airline. But
Right.
no, I want to get down there, man. And congratulations on getting that festival.
Thank you, man. May I suggest that if the best time of year to come down is around February, March? I don't know.
Weather-wise?
I don't think it's weather-wise, and I don't think it's as expensive to come during those times as it is like in the summer or like straight up like December or November.
Because nobody travels after Christmas. Everyone's broke.
Christmas.
But they don't have their tax return yet. So there's that weird February, March period where everyone's kind of waiting on money, so they don't travel. That's what I don't know.
Yeah, so prices go down. So
okay, so February, March.
It's a good time to come.
Right on, man. Sunset Hound, man. Shout out to him. I was hanging out with him, his wife, and his sister, who showed us an awesome time at his sister's brewery in Austin called Meanwhile. And
I've heard of that.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I've had Aliaz on before, like every week. Aliaz 12 times in a row. And if anybody wants any questions or thinks it's a bad idea to open up a brewery now, just go to Meanwhile, because that place is phenomenal. And it's their first one, and it looks like an extension, like Sierra Nevada's third room or New Belgium's third room. Yeah, it was phenomenal. They have like a whole stage out back. Yeah,
That's expensive to put
yeah, it
on
looks
those.
about $20 million to startup and investors, but
That's
however you get
ridiculous.
it, hey, there was people there spending money. There was kids running around. It was awesome. The brew house was clean. It was huge. It looked like a great place to work. It looked like a great brand. We were even drinking their coffee. There's a
Cool.
lot of coffee in Texas at breweries.
Huh.
Yeah.
The only coffee I tasted in the States that sucked. Like I don't know. I come from a place where that has some of the best coffee in the world, so I'm like spoiled in that end. But
Say
coffee
it,
in the
Raj.
States is pretty bad, man.
But doesn't it come from your hood?
Huh?
Doesn't it come from the same spot? Doesn't it all come from the South? Or the south of us? Maybe not so much south of you.
Yeah, but it's the roasting process. Like the processing is
Ooh.
just different.
Okay.
It's very different. And the beans that not all the beans that are consumed here, or like all the grain that is consumed here for coffee, is local. But some companies are. Of course, that's more expensive. But I mean, when you taste that, when you come down, I'll show you.
Okay.
For sure. I'll hook you up with some really good coffee. It's just everywhere here. People drink coffee even if it's like 102 or something. You know, it doesn't matter.
I like
3 o'clock
that.
coffee.
All right, I'm gonna take your
We
word
love
for
coffee.
it. We got some witnesses in here too. But what's the deal with coffee and what's the deal with coffee and the Puerto Rico beer scene? Because a lot of breweries, not a lot, but some breweries hit it on both ends. They'll do coffee on this side of their brew house, and then they'll do beer on the other. And I actually went to Lazarus in Austin, Texas, and it looked like it was almost a coffee house first. It's like a coffee house that sells beer because the margins are insane. I love drinking both. It's kind of a weird not oxymoron, kind of like an ixnay hombre. Like I drink coffee once or twice a day, but then that's it in the morning. Beer I drink once or twice a week, but I drink however many it takes, however long it takes. So it's kind of similar in regards to margins, and there's not that much real, overhead outside of buying. I mean, there's always overhead. There's labor in your roaster and your system, but you don't need $200,000 salesman going out and selling, Teslas for you or something like that. It's kind of the same. Right. It's the same, but different kind of drink. One's caffeine, one's alcohol, margins, competition. They're popping up everywhere. And the thing about San Diego, or maybe even Knoxville or Austin, I see coffee places pop up, and they're not going out of business. I see coffee places pop up more than breweries, and the coffee places aren't going out of business. But the breweries are.
I'm sure the coffee consumption is way larger than the beer consumption in general. I mean, I can say for Puerto Rico, it's like everywhere. There's coffee shops everywhere. And not just that, it's coffee here is so ubiquitous and just like an everyday thing.
Okay.
That, yeah, I guess getting back to your question about breweries and coffee and why I don't really see it that much here. It's because the laws that protect coffee here are very weird and like antiquated. They're that you can be a roaster, but you can't be like a retailer. So there's all these weird laws here that they want to protect. It's just weird. There's if you're a roaster, you can't be a retailer. If you have the farm, you can't be a roaster or something like that. I don't really have it clearly, so I can't really speak to it as well as I wish I could. But there are some weird laws here that don't prevent the actual industry of growing, except for the retail, because that's where the margin is. Like you were saying, that's where the actual, you can actually charge $4.50 for like a coffee, like an 8-ounce coffee or something.
Okay, but can you sell coffee? Can you have an espresso machine selling people coffee for $5 a pop at your brewery legally in Puerto Rico?
I could, yes.
You could.
That's retail though. Yeah.
Okay, but what's stopping you from doing that? Because I feel like that's probably a lot of states or places and states in America. I don't think it's as stringent state by state, but maybe I'm wrong. But what's stopping you from doing that? It's just not
because
in the business
model? No, I mean, I think there's places that do that, but it's not very popular because I think coffee is very separate from alcohol here. Coffee is like I don't know. It's sort of like a sacred cow, you know. It's very very people who are going out to drink do not necessarily, even if they're going to brunch, they're not necessarily interested in getting coffee. And if I'm gonna spend $5,000 on a coffee machine, which is not that much considering what you could
No,
get out of
in the
it,
grand scheme of things, yeah.
yeah, but it's something I would have to, I haven't never, we consider it, of course, because my associate is super huge on coffee. He really likes coffee. He really knows coffee, and it's something we talked about, but we never really pulled the trigger because there's so many other things that are more important to us. So I guess it's more of in terms of us, it's more of a question of that it hasn't really come up yet, the chance to actually do it properly.
Well, there's 45 people here. Noam Brewing's in here, and he can hear you right now. I think it's a good idea. Noam was there at Lazarus with me, and I think that was the best business model for a brewery that I saw. A coffee shop that sells beer too. Right. Because Meanwhile was huge. Right. It was great. It was phenomenal. How many phone calls do you have to make to track down $200 million worth of investors? I'm not that guy. I don't have that type of connections. Yeah. I could never get the Lazarus thing going. But to me, it just looked like, and I was talking to Noam and Allianz about this. There's so many breakfast places that kill it in San Diego that they close at 2 p.m. They're up at 6 o'clock. They close at 2 p.m. They make $6,000 a day in sales selling eggs. Nobody has better margins on planet Earth than omelets. Eggs cost what, 20 cents? What's an omelet? $15? That's insane. And then they close at 2 p.m. and they're just done. It's like, why don't you guys close for a couple hours? Okay, you did breakfast. It's not like you're just doing coffee, but do coffee or breakfast. Shut down for 2 hours, and then do a craft beer bar from 5 to 10 o'clock, and just close at 10 o'clock every night, clean everything up. And I feel like that place does it. That Lazarus place, not so much a breakfast joint, but I feel like, hey, we're already paying for the same space, whether we're open 24 hours or we close at 2 p.m. Maybe we could utilize, two brands, breakfast or coffee, and then craft beer, and hopefully it's not conflict of interest. Because I think most people, like Trevor in South O, he's got an Igniter brewery, but the place that's to the right of him that's symmetrical is coffee. They've got the same building, just like Butterfly Wings, just boom, symmetrical. I don't know why the coffee place needs to be that big. Brewery, brew houses take up a lot more space than a roaster does. But people go drink coffee, and then they go drink a couple beers, or they get drunk or whatever, and then, hey, I got to drink another coffee. I got to go back here and sober up. And it just looks like almost this perfect cycle. Not perfect cycle. Not everyone's doing it, but it's like, hey, I got to go get a coffee. I got to go get some iced coffee or a hot coffee to snap me out of this. I got to, go pick up groceries or whatever the hell.
Yeah, you could actually, and if you do that, you could open very early and close not late, but you can be open all day basically. So I mean, it could be a win-win unless labor and all that stuff gets in the way, or if one part or the other doesn't really do well or something. But it's not. It's a natural thing. I think what you're saying and your point, what I get from your point, is that it's something that a lot more people should consider because it's so easy. It doesn't really have a large footprint or anything. It's just like a coffee machine. It's a couple feet by couple feet or something. It's not. It's pretty damn easy, and it's sort of you could kind of associate, of course, the process of making coffee, brewing coffee with brewing beer, and you can, I don't know, sell that as a concept. My friends actually I have friends in the town of Caguas.
You could have some collabs. You could mix. You could sell your multi beers with put coffee in it. You could sell your porters and stuff like that. But somebody brought up a point, and they said, not a point, maybe a bad point. Short Bus Scotty, vaping beer coffee shop. Well, vaping's got bad clout. Most people,
and regulations too, yeah.
But most people think vaping or smoking, it's just douchebag, it's bad guy or whatever. Coffee and beer, especially coffee, they don't have that bad stigma. Everybody drinks coffee. I mean, you wouldn't want to see a baby drinking coffee, but no one's got a problem with a kid in high school studying and drinking a Starbucks. But vaping, it just looks misleading. Maybe it's just like, whoa, it's like a nose ring or a face tattoo. And like, whoa, it's just kind of weird. I don't know. I got a face tattoo.
I
It's
have my
beard.
friend.
What up, Joseph Crawford? So
My
what's
friend
up,
in
Rush?
Caguas has a coffee shop. It's called 404 Coffee Shop, and he's like a computer. He's like a super nerd, like we all are.
Yeah.
And
Larry Campbell's.
his concept is exactly that. It's a coffee shop that opens very early. It's right in the center of town, and not even after a certain hour. If you want a beer at 8 9 a.m., you can have a beer. He has like 4 beers in draft, and he has one of our kegerators, so he has 2 of our beers over there.
There you go.
And he loves the stout,
Sean.
our stout, which is Cocotero, which is a toasted coconut milk stout.
Yeah.
He loves that beer. They usually have that one on, and it sells really well. And it's a no-brainer. It's like, oh well, you like coffee? Well, have a taste of this. And people are, a lot of converts, a lot of people who would never ever gotten closer to craft beer at all, are kind of introduced through coffee because of dark beers in Puerto Rico, because it's so common to drink coffee. Everybody's like, oh, this tastes just like coffee. Does this have coffee in it? They always ask that. And ours has coconut too, so it's very tropical.
That works.
We call it a tropical stout.
It works both in coffee and beer. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Modern Times, a lot about the San Diego beer scene. They were one of the breweries, the big breweries that did coffee and beer and food. But they didn't, I don't think at any Modern Times that they do like $5 espressos to go, which is a bigger margin than selling a 4-pack of cans, even though that they're cans of coffee. We're talking coffee. Right. 4-packs were expensive. They were about $20. But for Maui Brewing to come in, now they've got all that coffee, because coffee, I think, is more territorial with beer. I have cousins and family members who are like, oh, I only drink Dunkin' Donuts. F that Starbucks stuff. Oh, I only drink this. I ain't drinking 7-Eleven stuff. Beer is kind of snobby. Like my dad is like, I'm not going to drink a Budweiser or whatever. But if he was at a barbecue and he really wanted a beer and it was hot and there's only Budweiser, he would still drink one. But I think people are way more territorial about their coffee. So Modern Times had probably those people over the years that were just like, oh, I'm in love with macadamia nut, fair trade, whatever. Marketing's got more, or coffee's got more marketing and branding tools than anything. And now Maui owns that as well.
It's great that actually Maui
Brewing
got that. Maui's been around for a while. It was one of the first breweries that I saw in like
Maui Brew Co. NBC.
Only cans.
Yeah.
And we used to get them in Puerto Rico about 10 years ago, which is weird because back then there was like 7 or 8 different craft beer brands, and Maui was one of them, and we would get them fresh, too, which is fantastic. And one of the things is that their owner, Garrett Marrero, I think his ancestry is Puerto Rican, so he has roots here.
Right on,
which is pretty cool.
Man.
Pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for the record, Jorge did my broadcast. That was that was not a live stream. That was a Spotify audio file that we did a 2-hour podcast. That's somewhere out there. I think I still paid my $10 or $15 a month for the web hosting or however they do it. But yeah, he's down there in Puerto Rico. We had a lot of Puerto Rico history with baseball and why they like this guy and why they don't like this stuff and why everything's expensive and how craft beer has to compete with Johnny Depp's character. What was the Caribbean guy and all his rum? Is it still is rum still Jack Sparrow? Is rum still as popular as ever down there in Puerto Rico?
No, man, we drink Don Q and Bacardi, man.
Cuba Libre?
Bullshit. Everything else is just
Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libres, yeah.
Mojito.
I used to drink a lot of Cuba Libres when I was, a few years ago.
Cuba Libre is the one with the mint. No, that's Mojito. Cuba Libre is Coke and dark rum.
Rum and Coke.
Yeah,
I just cook rum and Coke.
No, I've been down there. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Brian? Sunset Hound, he's in the house. Joseph Crawford, oh yeah, I'm snobby. It's got to be Dunkin' Donuts. The hell is Starbucks? LOL. See, people are super territorial about their coffee. Good thing about me, I don't know shit. You know where I go to get my coffee? My YMCA. Because I have a membership and I just go in there and I fill it up. Even when I'm not working out or on my Stairmaster playing basketball, it's right across the street. What's up?
Is that in Knoxville?
My YMCA? Yeah, I've got two of them. I've got one downtown, which is like a mile away, and then I've got one YMCA across the street. And I try to go there every morning just to kind of start my day. It's how I do it.
To steal coffee?
Well, I'm a member. They take $50 direct deposit out of my business checking. But yeah. What's up, Party Time Brewing? What's up, you brunch?
What's up, James?
He's got a Genius t-shirt on right now, too. I'm digging that.
Back off, war child. Seriously.
I was watching. I always look. I'm a map freak. I love maps, and I was looking at Google Maps, and I was looking at Nova Scotia.
It's
and
up there.
I couldn't remember where James lives. I don't know if it was Halifax or something, but I was just looking over there, and I watched this YouTuber guy who's a Colombian guy who's traveling Canada right now.
Yeah.
On a van, and he went to all these very, very small towns. There's like 200 people live there, and that's all around that area. It's not. I think he was in Quebec still, but he's the guy I watch on YouTube is going down to Nova Scotia. So
yeah, I own James a trip.
It looks pretty remote. It's pretty remote, man. It's up there.
It's cold.
It's up. Yeah,
it's cold.
It looks mostly beautiful though.
Yeah, I mean, James has some clips of his house where he's pretty much on a lake. And I don't think he showcased it in a while, but in his first couple videos, or the first couple videos that I caught on to, I was like, whoa, man, you live on a lake. How do I get your life? He's like, well, yeah, you got to deal with like 0-degree weather all the time. You know, there's kind of a there's kind of a give and take with everything. But no, he lives good up there, and I'll get up there. I just
he says just outside of Halifax. He just said in the chat.
Yeah, maybe if
I'd love to go. I'd love to visit Canada. Never been to Canada.
Never been to Canada either. No.
Love to go there.
Maybe we can get James on here if Jorge's cool with it. Maybe in a little bit.
Yeah, man.
That's cool with you. Are you doing okay on time, Jorge? Because we're in the same time zone. It's 10 o'clock our time. It's 11 o'clock James' time.
I can do probably an hour more.
Okay.
Maybe an hour more. Yeah, if it's okay. Because I like to get to bed not too late. Yeah. I always get to bed late, but not too late.
No. What time do you wake up in the morning?
5:30, 6, depending.
Yeah.
Usually 5:30. I'm already up. So just making coffee. And speaking of coffee,
there we go. Yeah.
Trying to wake up.
Is
my daughter to school?
Good man. Is your buddy's coffee beer joint? Is it successful?
Yeah, very much.
Good.
It's very successful, and
what I'm going to be doing one day.
It's one of the very, very few places that do that, and also where he's located. He's right in the near the metro San Juan area. It's not in San Juan, but he's near, and he gets a lot of traffic from people come back and forth. So, and he's right in town, right in the middle of town, so it's perfect for him. I'm glad to know that they're doing great. It's been a while too. It's been years now. They've been there for like maybe 5 years now. So those places, man, the coffee shop that's next door to the beer box, which is my restaurant, has been there for like 13 years or something. It's just a couple young guys, they've always been doing the same thing. Never expanded, never did anything crazy. Just coffee, really good coffee. 13 years going, and they're young guys, so they got a lot of time to go. They got a lot of work to do, and I'm sure they'll be around for a long time. So, well, it's true what you say. It really is.
What do I say? I say a lot of dumb shit.
No, the coffee businesses usually lasts a long time. They don't really close that often. As much as like we've been seeing breweries close off and all that.
Yeah,
coffee shops last quite a while, unless they have a ton of competition or something. But at least where I am, they do last.
Well, the beer thing's weird because I was in San Diego about 3 weeks ago, and I can go into the new places, and I could just say like this place is going to be closed within a year. I can just see that now. There's 300 breweries.
Oh, yeah.
They're coming into 300 breweries in San Diego. There's too much competition.
Wow. What? 300?
There's this brewery that we went to. I'm not going to name names because I don't really name names anymore unless it's in a positive light. But we went into we went into this place that it was this beer hall, and I think I've talked about it on here. It was this brand new place, and there's this weird trend in San Diego where places, new brands or new breweries, are moving into old breweries buildings that went out of business. So it's already kind of a weird vibe. It's already weird. People think like, oh, that old building, Indian Joe's or Beach Grease or this. It's like, okay, so what are they doing that's different? Why would I go there? So there was a brewery called Indian Joe's, and they spent so much time to revamp and get their thing going. They had an elevator in there. It was 2 stories. It was just too big. And then with COVID and everything, it was just inevitable. As shitty as that sounds, it just was.
Yeah.
So we went to that same building 3 weeks ago, and they put 5 breweries in there, like a food court, but breweries. It was the weirdest and dumbest idea ever. This place might have worked 10 years ago, 12 years ago. The further you go back in time, the better this place would have worked.
So 5 tap rooms or 5 like
4
actual brew house?
4 tap rooms, 4 brew houses, and 1 winery. It's Laguna Beer. It's one of them was from LA, which is ridiculous because San Diego, they're not going to support an LA brewery. It was the worst idea I've ever seen. It really was. So there's 4 breweries, there's 1 winery, and there's 1 burger joint. You know who's going to make the most amount of money there? The burger joint. The burger joint. This idea would be much better if it was different, right? If it was the other way. If it was 5 places to eat, right? If it was Mexican food, if it was hamburgers, if it was sushi, if it was pizza, and then it had 1 brewery, that 1 brewery would kill. But as a winery or a beer brand, you've got a parking lot, a big parking lot, and people show up to your parking lot. There's a 20% chance that they're going to spend money on your brand. It just looks so dumb.
Is it a large space?
Yeah, look it up. It's called the Collab. We can pull it up right now. Type in Collab in Vista. Here, I could put this in the chat. But I could just go in there and I could look at this and I'd be like, this is a bad idea. You guys are going to lose a ton of time and money, and this place will not be here in a year. And I so hope I'm wrong, but I'm just not. The Collab.
Public House.
Vista.
Publichouse.com.
Collab. So capital C, capital L. Yeah, Collab Public House. And they opened up about a month ago. Let me put this in the chat. So can you see in there? Okay, so it's got the winery to the left, and then it's got...
Yeah. It's big, but it's not that big as...
it's only showing about it's only showing... Right. See, there's the burger joint. Let me put this in the chat.
Propaganda Wine Co. Barrel and Stave.
Barrel and Stave. Okay. Barrel and Stave. Barrel and Stave. Here's the bummer. I wanted to support them because one of my buddies owns a brewery called Stave and Barrel or something. I don't know. When I was there was nobody in here. The pictures this might be their grand opening, and I wish them well, but we're talking 300 breweries in San Diego, and these guys came in pretty late to the game with a interesting.
Oh man, that's a lot of breweries.
Yeah,
100 breweries in one city. I mean, it's a large.
Yeah,
this is a large city, but 300 is quite a lot.
It's a lot, man.
I mean, it's kind of give and take, you know. Of course, if you have more breweries, you'll get more brewing traffic. Was that?
There's 22 breweries in Knoxville. I think Knoxville is the best place to open up a brewery, and I'm including Asheville. Yeah, what's up, Chris Vodka? What's up, you brunch? Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
In Asheville, like super expensive.
Jorge, I'm going to go get a beer. Can you hold it down, you brush?
Go ahead.
All right, BRB.
Sure, man. No problem. All right. So, what do we got? Dawson's Creek theme song. That's the best nickname ever. I want a brewery that serves mofongo. Yeah, man. Me too. I want mofongo beer. Mofongo IPA. Let's get it. What do we got? Vodka, Mr. Vodka. Absolute Vodka. What's up, man? Short but Scotty. Let's see. Something around. What we got here?
I'm back.
With probably this chat is probably That's probably
We're doing a Munich style Dunkel, aka a German Neger Modelo from a local
really.
brewery,
What do
Schultzbrat.
you got? Let's see it.
What's
Can we
up? Can you
on
see it?
camera?
Yeah, Schultzbrat. These guys have a very German,
That's cool.
gimmicky kind of medieval times brewery, but it's awesome. I don't like the
Cool.
I don't like the hefts and stuff, but I drink their dark lagers and their kolsch's. Are we getting party time on here or no?
He's around.
He's in
see him
here.
in the
He's doing
chat.
some work though. But yeah, 22
Brian
breweries in
Hutton asked,
Knoxville.
what's the craft brew scene in San Juan? The craft brew scene in San Juan, it's good,
How many breweries are down there?
but I would recommend if you ever make it down here, Brian, to just get out of San Juan. Nothing against San Juan. I know I always say it is, and people are gonna.
That's where I lost all my money.
Somebody here says that they're gonna.
That's where I
they're
lost
gonna
all my money.
kick my ass, but
No.
you
Get to the
lost
west.
all your money. It's our fault.
I lost.
Yeah, just
all
head
my
out west,
money.
man. Just come out to smaller towns, and there's the beer scene. The beer scene is very small. Look, all of
Okay.
the breweries are still very, very, very small. Basically, pilot systems, and there's one large one, which is Ocean Lab Brewing Company. Ocean Lab is just by the airport in San Juan. They're like, they make I don't know how many thousands of barrels a year, but they're really good. They're friends of ours too, and I always recommend them because it's the easiest one to get to. It's Ocean Lab.
Look, I'm gonna be
And
honest.
then
I
if
don't
you
really
come
like
out
beer
west,
that
and
much.
there's like 10 or 12 more breweries that you can at least tap rooms, not many, but there's at least 6 or 7 tap rooms around the island that you can visit, and everybody does something different. We're not as not caught up because we are caught up with trends, but we're not as
Gimmicky.
mindful of whatever gimmick is going on. Yeah, we're more we make very unique beers, if I may say. Some of my friends, Rebel Brewing Company, which is REBL. look them up in,
REBL. Okay.
Yeah, you can look them up in Instagram. I think it's Rebel. Oh, shit, now I don't know the handle. Let me check. They make really unique beers. They make IPAs, but they use like cassava, and they use like flowers, local flowers, and it's just they do some really crazy shit. And they're a couple from Utuado, which is right in the middle of the island. They have this brewery in this very small house, no tap room.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
You
I don't
can't
really like
really
beer that
go there
much.
and drink or anything, but you can have their beers around the island. And let's see if I can pull up this handle.
Hey,
It's
well,
REBL.
pull it up. And while we're doing that, shout out to Brewing Bad for following Box Lab from the. It says Jorge in the description, but it's his. It doesn't say Jorge on his Instagram. It's his brewery called Box Lab. Shout out to you, Brewing Bad.
Thank you, man. Here we go. It's
Barrage and Bad.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
It's
I don't really like beer that much.
REBL.brewery. REBL.brewery. Those guys.
They're digging that soundbite.
In the chat.
I got a question. Someone's asking about Mexico too. What up, Barrage Milton? What's up, you brunch? We've got some Mexico beer news, and I sent that to you, and Raul sent that to me. But it looks like that president's trying to make some moves. And I've thought about it a little bit, but I want to talk to you about it, Jorge.
Wow. Oh, it's the link you sent me.
Did you look into that?
Yeah, I did. I did very briefly. I was busy and I couldn't really read the whole thing. But let me see if I can pull it up here.
You pulling up what I sent you, or are we talking about the
yeah.
Rebel?
It's a national. It's like nationalizing beer, which is kind of weird in these times. I don't know, man. They make so much of that shit. It's just like,
It's chicken shit.
I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I talked to Raul about it. So here's the backstory. There's an article that's going on right now in Mexico where the president wants to take beer from the north and bring it into the south. And there's two reasons. A, he doesn't want Americans part of Mexico's success, which is crazy because Mexico exports a ton of beers to America, a ton of beers, billions of beer. But B, he's saying there's a drought up there, which is ridiculous because anybody who knows anything about agriculture, beer doesn't take that much water. In the grand scheme of things, you're talking about rice and macadamia nuts and walnuts and avocado and sugar cane. It's like 50 gallons of water just to get 1 pound of sugar and stuff like that. From what I talked to Raul about it, he's from the South. He's trying to bring jobs there, get votes down there. The South, from what the party was talking about, is more poor than North Mexico. There's a better economy up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how much you looked into it, but I did talk to Raul a little bit about it, who's from East Mexico City, Tabasco, somewhere out there. I'm botching this, but he was getting a good laugh out of that. He was saying it's all about politics and
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That it's not real. It's just the usual in most of. I mean, this is most of the world thing. This is not a Latin American thing or an American thing or a European thing. This is.
But you're talking about
the same thing
drought
everywhere.
for beer. We're talking about like walnuts and sugarcane, let alone how much water does it take to have a farm or cows or livestock. And it's like there's a drought and water's the problem. Beer water's the problem.
There's a lot of things that are more important than beer. There's a drought,
No, I disagree with you. You could take all the walnuts and sugarcane and get rid of that. I'm taking all the beer. I couldn't disagree with you less on that one. No, I'm just kidding. It just looks like he's trying to blame some shit and have a scapegoat, and he wants to bring some economy to southern Mexico to create jobs and get votes. That's the way I look at it. That's the way me and Raul looked at it. But
it has
maybe he is a modern day Robin Hood.
Because
sorry, what's up?
I mean, I'm sure they can. No. I'm agreeing with you because I just think it's a both thing, and I agree with what Raul says. Because if it's about bringing jobs over, I mean, Mexico is pretty big. I mean, there's a lot of market share, I guess, for beer, and even if it's all just going to the U.S. or whatever, or if it's being manufactured in the U.S., but that's another problem. But
yeah,
I think it's more of an image thing. It's just what politicians do, They're always disappointing.
Yeah, and I think this would be a worser move, and I want to talk a little bit about what Heather Sharp just wrote here, because almonds take an insane amount of water. There's, I remember a little about this stuff from my buddies who were in 4-H. Almonds and peanuts and rice take an insane amount of water, let alone pigs and livestock and all that stuff. But long story short, there's a lot of money, there's a lot of beer money that gets exported to America that is very good for, I guess, specifically North Mexico. And if you were to, I don't know, maybe take a little bit of that away, I think that'd create even a bigger problem. I don't know. I don't know shit about politics. It just looks like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, but he is the president. He's the most powerful dude. Legal,
But you can see how communities that are closer to the border might do better because it's just synergy. It's just you're just there. It's closer, so you have a lot of back and forth. And it's easier to ship stuff. It's easier to just bring some trucks can go back and forth easier. It's cheaper to do that too.
Sure.
Trade and all that. So,
and I've never been to a big city in southern Mexico. When I go down to Mexico, it's like Baja, which is not
right.
It's like a little surf town. And then all the other 50 times, 100 times I've been to Mexico, it's all Tijuana or places that are within 100 yards south or radius of Tijuana. So it's pretty populated. Money goes through there. There's people with jobs. There's 5 classes anywhere you go. But I would like to go down to I would love to go to Mexico City. One of my best friends just got engaged to a girl from... You've been to Mexico City?
It's ridiculous. It's beautiful. It's very European.
Yeah.
It's huge. I remember one of the things that made one of the biggest impressions on me was that when the plane was actually landing, you could see, as far as the eye could see, you would see city and buildings and neighborhoods. It's just it never ends. It's like Sao Paulo or something. It's just
Never been to
a
Brazil.
city of 22 million people or something. It's just too many.
million. That's probably more than New York.
It's probably more now. That was back when I went. It was 2003,
Man.
if I'm not mistaken. So it's almost 20 years ago. So it's probably a lot more now.
Man.
It's a lot of people there, bro. It's just like, that's why I say there's a crowd there for everything. Anything you can do. Starting a brewery, I would start in Mexico City.
Well, how many breweries are there? Because it ultimately comes down
know.
to competition. But I would imagine there's not too many craft. I would think that, and I got a buddy, Jerry, who I've talked about coming on here. We just don't, he doesn't take this shit serious. I'm like, hey, man, you got to come on my stream, my happy hour. He's like, duh, duh, duh. He's got to see it to make it real, because I don't think he takes anything I say serious. And that's fair, because I wouldn't either. But he opened up a brewery in Tijuana. I'd rather live in Tijuana than America right now. I really would. Tijuana is nothing like how it was in the 90s. It was nothing how it was in the 90s. Mm-hmm. There's a wine scene. There's a craft beer scene. Is there bad shit from here, 3 blocks around the corner in Tijuana? Yeah. Is that in Knoxville? Yes. Is that in San Diego? Kinda. You got to go a little bit further to find bad stuff. San Diego's kind of like the Truman Show. I'm doing a vlog on San Diego right now, and I'm making fun of it. It's the most divided place ever, but if you take the media's influence away, it's too soft and too sheltered. It's just,
I'm sure it's beautiful. I've never been there. I would love to go.
San Diego?
It's beautiful.
San Diego?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
I've been to LA, yes. San Diego.
It's
a place that has a really good craft beer scene also that no one knows about? Peru, Lima.
Okay.
The city of Lima.
Okay.
And Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires in Argentina.
What?
There's a lot of, like now I'm talking about the last 5 years.
Yeah.
This is very recent.
Yeah.
Very recent.
Well, it's funny you said that, because I was down the last time I was in Montevideo, Punta del Este, which is very close to Buenos Aires, was 5 years ago. And I was at Montevideo Brew Company, and the beers were good enough. Like, a little bit too malty of IBAs and everything, kind of had a little bit of a amber hue to it.
120.
Maybe that's how they do that, though, but my signature West Coast IPA is Swami's. It's Pizza Port Swami's. That's kind of my bar. As far as IPAs that are accessible to get. I'm not talking about the 30-year anniversary Firestone or the Pliny, the whatever. I'm talking about the most accessible West Coast IPA was Swami's. And the Montevideo beer, Uruguay, the capital of Uruguay, was kind of there. So I would love to go down there and drink the beer again, because that was 2017. That was 5 years ago.
Oh yeah. There's a lot has changed.
A lot has changed.
And actually, we get a brewery here called Prison Pals, and it's 3 Argentinian guys who moved to Miami, and they started a brewery. It's just all slushy beers and hazy IPAs.
I want to go to Miami so bad.
You should.
Hey,
Miami's very interesting. It's the only place I've been in the United States that I never had to speak English. Anyway, it's crazy, man.
What would you recommend? Because my next desirable beer trip, and I just got to stop going on vacations, because
probably
I need a W-2 right now. I'm gonna owe a lot of money in taxes next year, and there's gonna be a serious rude awakening. But I'm trying to work at like there's 22 breweries in Knoxville. There's 3 that I just really want to work at. One of the places only does sours. One of the places is just a rad brewery, and then there's another place that's kind of small, and they only do one-offs. All of their beers that they do are just all so you either need to be really good or your beer's gonna be pretty shitty. That's how that kind of works. But I need to get a W-2 job, because I want to try to buy a house. But if there's one beer city that I could hit, and I'm probably going to go next month, but just max out on my credit cards, would be Tampa Bay. Have you?
Oh, yeah.
So what's your take between Miami and Tampa Bay? I mean, if you went 15 years ago, it's not going to relate to the craft beer scene.
I do know a lot about them because they're close, and we have a lot of people that come and go there all the time. I have friends who live there and come here all the time and tell me all about it. It's
Clearwater,
it's very
St.
different.
Pete.
Yeah, St. Pete is
St.
like
Pete.
it's Miami. Like there's a Florida. What do you call it? Is it a Florida sour? What was it? Florida Vice. Florida Vice. Florida Vice is a style that's just like from Florida, and it's a super slushy, extra thick, fruity sour beer. And there's breweries that only do that.
Sounds like some Monster Energy drink.
It's like a thing there, and
It's
we get
kind
some
of
of
a thing
that
in
here.
San Diego. Yeah. It's getting silly.
It's not, I don't think it's gonna go on for long. People are gonna get tired of it because it's just everything's just too sweet. And if you go to
Slushy
St.
beer.
Pete in that area, you can get that, or you can go and get some really good lagers and IPAs. And there's a brewery there you probably know, which is Cigar City.
Well, they
which has
sold
been
out
there
to
for a long
Monster.
time. What?
They sold out to Monster.
Yeah, they're not independent anymore. They're Canarchy, whatever, Oscar Blues.
Oscar
and then I don't know
Blues.
who the other one. Yeah. So those guys are, I mean, that's like the oldest craft brewery, I guess. But you have a lot of
That's
very
my
small.
Johnson.
There's one I always wanted to go. That's called
off,
Arcane
child,
with a
seriously.
K. Arcane. And it's
Arcane
like
with a
two
K.
brothers.
Okay. There's an Arcana with a C. Okay, that's easy to remember. I got you. There's an Arcana
Yeah,
with
so
a C in
it's,
San
I
Diego.
think it's two brothers, and they make a bunch of sour beer, but like proper sour beer. I don't know if they do the slushy stuff. Maybe they do, but they do. I know that they do proper Berliner Weisses and all that. So it's mostly sour beer, lots of lagers, and in Miami, for some reason, one of the hottest cities in the United States, one of the warmest places. Big, thick imperial stouts are like the thing, like Jake Wakefield and all of that. There's breweries that are like super hype, and they just sell this really expensive double barrel age sour imperial stouts that they boil for like 20
barrel
hours or
aged
something.
sour. Sounds
No,
like a homebrew
double barrel aged stout.
Stout.
Imperial stout. And
I'd
they
sour
they
it.
do all these big thick stouts, and they bunch of vanilla, a bunch of like adjuncts in them, and that's kind of a thing in Miami, as far as I know. You know,
I wouldn't.
again,
I would
you
think
know,
the exact opposite. I think it'd just be like everyone taking their shirt off and drinking hard seltzers.
exactly
Coconut bras.
It's,
Coconut Bra IPA. Great cowbell. Great Cal Brew Co, man. Much love. We got a lot of barrages. See the members in the house tonight, man. And it's cool.
Jay
because-
Wakefield.
Yeah. And I can see the blue ribbon, the homebrew for life, the hoppy hour thing, man. It's wrecked, man. What's up, you barrage?
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Meat sandwich IPA. I love that.
Meat sandwich IPA.
Yeah, so Florida
Sour
is that, and
stouts.
then up north, there's I went to Orlando a couple of years ago, and I went to this place called Half Barrel. Brew
Half
Co.
barrel. Okay, there's a
Which
half
is
door
basically-
in downtown San Diego.
It's a half
great.
barrel system inside a bar, and they're doing great because they not only have their own beers that they release like every week, but they have a big
Half-barrel
selection
system.
of a bunch of East Coast stuff.
What do you brew,
they have
5 times a day?
They make 15 gallons. No, because they do one-offs. And
But
they're like this
still,
crazy beers.
how much money can you make if you're only doing a 15.5 gallon keg per batch?
All the retail money you can make because they don't sell kegs. They just sell it retail, and it's very expensive. You know, it's like, one of those
More power,
places where you
man.
can, a snifter is like $10 or something. It's downtown Orlando. It's expensive.
Okay.
$10 or $12 or
We're-
something. So
How would
they
you
make most of their money with other people's beers though, because that's what they mostly push.
guest taps? So if you were to tell somebody top 3 places to visit Miami, what would you do from 1 to 3? Or
Wynwood.
top 5?
I would say Wynwood.
Wynwood's number 1.
I don't know. Yeah, because I mean that's more of a.
I've never heard of Wynwood.
It's a family-owned. Those guys started. It's a family from
off,
Puerto
child,
Rico that
seriously.
started their own brewery there, and they were very successful for a long time. I think they got bought out by Constellation. I don't know which one is it.
Ballast
The one that
Point.
had Kona. Is it Constellation?
I
don't
thought
know. One of
Kona
those
was
companies bought
Modelo,
them out.
Ballast Point, and Corona. Maybe it's them now too.
Yeah.
It's tough to keep a tab
Well-
on them because there's
Yeah, they
Boston
sold the
beer
company to
and-
those guys, but they still make their own beers, and I think their beers are really good. So I would go there. I would go to Jake Wakefield just to see what's on because I'm
Wow.
sure it's crazy to just have at least a little sample or something because I couldn't have 16% Imperial Stout like 2 in the afternoon or something.
No.
Uh,
What is this?
Miami. What does it say? Miami. I
feel
like MIA, which I mean these are the larger breweries. MIA Brewing Company is also in Miami. This is more of a regional
I don't really like beer
brewery.
that much.
Who else is in Miami?
The chat might help you out. Lust in Space. Tripping Animals.
Tripping Animals. Yeah, I would go to Prison Pals too. I would just go see what they have on draft too. They're very small. 3 Argentinian guys living in Miami. But yeah, Tripping Animals. We also get Tripping Animals here in cans on the island. So that's another place I would love to see what they're up to. So yeah,
This is why I love the
there's
chat,
plenty
man.
of places to go. Miami is actually
Recommendations.
not too expensive if you don't go to like South Beach and all the touristy shit. It's just like
Yeah.
here in Puerto Rico. If you don't stay in the touristy spots, it's pretty cheap.
Don't blow a whole month's rent check on the roulette machine like I did in 2004.
Well, now
That's
you
a
can
true
come
story.
and blow it out in beer and food. Because
I would love to come down to Aguadilla. And it is American territory, right? Yes. So I don't need any crazy.
It's the last colony. The last colony in the world.
It's the last colony.
Topic
Gotcha.
for a different day. Yeah.
No.
Simcoe and Mosaic kind of thing.
It's Simcoe. No, for those who don't know, Simcoe Mosaic is when I'm talking too much about COVID. But I'm cool to talk about COVID now because I feel like we can. It's not political anymore. People can actually share their stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah,
This is a beer chat,
Yeah, man. I even forgot what I was saying. I was talking about Puerto Rico and then I forgot.
Well, when you got to do that, you got to do it.
Just say it.
I'm going to get one more. Yeah, what do you like, a 20-second delay? Because audio is real time.
Probably, I don't know how much, but there you go. Now we're back on the stream.
Now we're back. So it's about 5-10 seconds. All right, I'm going to grab one more 4% beer. Hold it down, Jorge. Don't be afraid.
All right, man. You
Don't
got
be
it.
afraid. Hold it down.
No, I won't.
All right.
I won't say I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love you, no. So what do we got, you guys? This is in Guam, an American territory colony too. Guam is a unincorporated territory, just like Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's kind of like a colony. Hey, Great Cow Bruco. What's up, man?
No brewing. Whoa.
Puerto Rico is
Some
awesome,
feedback.
man. It's one of the best.
What up,
one of the
Nomsky?
best places. We got some of the best beaches in the world. Did I say peaches? One of the
Peaches
best
and
beaches
cream.
in the world. Playa Flamenco. Luis Muñiz is staying Playa Flamenco. That's the most beautiful beach in the world, and I guarantee that if you go there, you will think this exact same thing.
My
Never seen
mama
any more
knows.
crystalline waters, man.
Sorry.
Awesome. So yeah, hard
Aguadilla.
seltzer. What do you got?
So I haven't had a hard seltzer in a very long time. And I don't think I've had a hard seltzer since I've left San Diego. And I was in Austin and I didn't have one at all. We probably went to 10 different breweries. 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. Maybe I saw it. Maybe I didn't. But I definitely didn't have any hard seltzer over the weekend. And I was definitely drinking more ciders and Belgians than I was in hard seltzers. Do you think that it's dying? It's not going up. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know. It won't go anywhere in terms of like it will level out. But the hype that was like during the pandemic is not.
It can't go up forever.
It'll never be like that again.
It'll never be
What's
like
that?
that again. And I was looking at Truly because Truly sold out to Boston Beer Works.
They're a Boston beer company.
Boston
they're
beer.
a Boston beer brand. They've always been.
Truly has always been a Boston beer brand.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. I mean, at one time
Dogfish Head now is also.
but at one time, Truly was probably its own thing, or was Boston Beer quick enough to the table?
So I think
No?
they created that. I'm pretty sure. I
Really?
may be wrong.
That's
Maybe
a
somebody in
smart
the
ass
chat-
move because, like, right when White Claw picked up, they got into it like that before Corona
Exactly.
and Budweiser and everybody else.
That's what you can do when you have millions and millions of dollars to just play. You know,
Well, that's
when
what
you actually have money to do a big play like that. You know, it's a
Well,
volume play.
that guy who at Boston Beer Works, if this is true, that guy's a prophet. That guy's a prophet because he got into the game before a lot of people did. But I was looking at
right when Ken Grossman was getting into the game, it was one of the OGs. You know, he's one of the OGs. People don't like him because he started contract brewing, blah blah blah. But he is. Jim Cook is one of the OGs of craft beer with Ken Grossman.
Oh, okay. So we're going back to
Nevada,
Samuel Adams versus Sierra Nevada.
No, I'm saying that they're contemporaries and they're, you know, the people who basically really kind of started this whole thing in a way, you know.
Started what whole thing?
He's legit.
Started hard seltzer or started?
No. I mean the craft beer scene in general. So those guys have been so on it so long that they can actually figure stuff like this out very quickly and actually get, you know, come up with the money to do something like a Truly, which is a brand new brand from scratch. And it sells millions and millions and millions of cases, you know.
We got to look up Truly.
Right now, they're not doing great, but I'm sure it'll level out and they'll still continue making it for a long time until it becomes like a SEMA or something that it disappears completely, you know. But it probably never disappeared completely. There'll always people who, you know, want to drink something that's low calorie and low carb or whatever. So there's always a demographic for it. It'll probably, you know, again, level out and become smaller, but it'll always be there. The hype, I don't think it's ever coming back. I mean, if something is gonna come back, I think it's gonna be West Coast IPAs because, you know, I don't think people are gonna get tired of New England styles or whatever or the other styles, but it's just something that, you know, when you push something aside, there's always a backlash. You know, there's always, you know, it kind of comes back. You kind of miss it, and you know, you go to a tap room now, and there's, you know, 10 out of 12 beers are IPAs and 9 out of 10 are hazy. So there has to be a point where it has to level out. Doesn't mean that hazy IPA has to disappear. It just means that both things can coexist, you know, even more styles, you know.
Check this out, bro.
I hopefully it'll go back to what it was like 6 years ago, where you can actually brew like an amber ale. And
I mean, I always want to look at 3 articles before I start regurgitating stuff, but we're live, and this is the first one, but this checks out. This makes a lot of sense. So it doesn't say whether Truly was its own thing or whether Boston Beer came out with it, but it came out in 2016. And it wasn't originally called hard seltzer. It was called spiked and sparkling. Kind of like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or maybe a Zima. You know, hard seltzer, that word became the biggest marketing tool in alcohol in the last 5 years. As soon as White Claw came out, people were like, well, what is it? It's a hard seltzer. And seltzer water got big at that time. LaCroix. LaCroix came out of nowhere. Whoa. It was underneath everybody's nose this whole time. LaCroix.
We always had Perrier, so carbonated water has always been around.
But I don't think it's been in a can. It's always been like $3 at a grocery store. It's been overpriced. It's got this, you know, they took Perrier and they took, what was the other one? Pellegrino. They stole that French word, right? That's the old Jim Gaffigan joke. We'll sell Americans their own free water, and we'll, you know, how the French, we'll throw a French term on it. Americans will buy everything. He's making fun of smart water.
Right.
But in 2016, Truly looked way different. A, it was in a bottle. B, it wasn't called hard seltzer, because that can, that Red Bull can, I think that was White Claw's. They started that as far as the hard seltzer game goes. That skinny girl margarita can is a huge marketing move. 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade bottles, or Smirnoff Ice, or sugar water in a bottle. It's not as, hey, let's put this in a 12-pack and bring it to the beach. These things you can just pack up, carry it like a football. Glass is just weird. Glass only really works with wine and beer.
Yeah, glass has gone out of fashion almost completely because you don't even see growlers anymore. And I actually think growlers are one of the better things about craft brewing because
You're not
it's
wasting
reusable
anything.
to the
There's
point
no
of you're not
plastic.
wasting
There's
anything.
no
You can
aluminum.
use it like 600 times before it starts to deteriorate. So it's like,
No, you're right.
I don't know, man. I still like we still make them for the brewery. We'll still get a case of that shit, and they will sell. People love them here. I mean, we tell them drink the beer very quickly because the old saying, right?
Once it's
Don't go
open, it's
bad after
open.
48 hours.
Once
Blah,
it's
blah,
open,
blah.
drink it.
Yeah. So I love growlers, man. I miss growlers. I don't miss the 22-ounce bottles though. I mean, I think they look cool, but I don't miss them because it's
This beer sucks.
I don't know, man. It's just I like cans better than that. I do like cans better than that. I like cans better than anything. It's like shipping cans is a lot cheaper, and like shipping beer in a can is a lot cheaper and it weighs less, and it's better for the retailer because it takes up less space for them too. So there's so many pros to cans, and especially those skinny things, those White Claws that you mentioned. Those cans, they can probably fit 5 cases or something extra in every pallet because of the size of the can.
Yeah,
they
for
could probably
sure.
fit a lot more in every pallet. So
Yeah, but-
it's great for the company.
But you also got to understand that cubic volume controls the market. Everybody back in the day had bottles and this and that. The name of the game right now is compacting everything. So that's why my buddies who work at grocery stores are like, there's a reason that 12 packs of soda cans now are long, because you could stick them more in the back. Back in the day, it was a different width, height, and length dimension. But now beer 12 and 18 packs are going to be these long ones because it comes down to cubic volume. Whoever controls
Right.
the distribution controls the market. So
Right.
Truly did make a pretty good move to knock their shit off pretty fast because White Claw did debut as a hard seltzer in that can. I don't think White Claw ever started in a bottle. So Truly was like maybe a year behind that. Oh my God, we saw this trend just take off. Boom, what are we going to do? We're going to knock this whole spiked and sparkling shit off. Because at that time, Truly was just kind of like a Bartles and James. Or James and Bartles. Remember the wine coolers?
Yeah.
4%.
Bottles and James.
80 calories or whatever, 1 gram of sugar. But hey, let's get rid of all this shit. Let's just put hard seltzer on it and let's put it in that same exact can. Boom. We all know who Truly is now, coast to coast, wherever else in the world. Timing
And money to be able to do it, because if you don't
Timing and money, timing and
if you don't have
resources.
access to that, if you don't have the resources, it's just
beer sucks.
I mean, they could have done like a local thing and just sell it in the New England area or something and not make as much. But when you're doing something that your company did not start out as, this is not a beer, so they're making something different, a different product, and they're putting so much money into it. You better just like kick it up and try to get it everywhere, because I mean, unless you're doing a regional thing, and they're not a regional company, they're a really big company, and they're available in every state, So and a lot of places around the world,
Hey, as Brad Pitt says in Moneyball, movie I just watched the other day, adapt or die. A lot of people think medievally is the word that they used. But I never remember this Truly spiked and sparkling thing. And what I'm looking at, they're trying to rip off Mike's Hard Lemonade or Zima or Smirnoff Ice or something. Mm-hmm. And everything's
in
lemon.
The early design, you mean? Or
I mean, look at this picture right here. Just click on this and then scroll down a little bit. Go down to and then they tried Twisted Tea. God, hard seltzer's such a gnarly word, man. Hard seltzer, people just see that and they just, here's my money.
Yeah.
Do you remember Twisted Tea? It's ringing a
they
bell.
also made a. Yeah, I do. You look at the bottles. I've never seen the bottles of Truly. They used to do a 26.2, which was a beer for like people runners. They also came with that. Did a big. I mean, Boston Beer. They did a big release for that, and it kind of failed immediately. Back in the probably around the same time,
2016. Well, here now I'm thinking.
26.2 was the name of the beer.
Now I'm thinking because this whole can thing worked out. Dude, this beer is so bad. Now I'm thinking, you know what worked out so well was this can. So look at the brands that were successful. Remember, I don't know how Angry Orchard's doing now, but I remember there was a few years, probably like 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. When it was,
I used to. People would ask for it all the time here.
But think of Angry Orchard now in that Red Bull style can. Cider could have been the new hard seltzer. Cider could have taken off. It's the can that people want. People don't want bottles. Beer drinkers want bottles. The can is huge.
It's too much associated. Yeah. It looks different. It looks very stylish, for people who are.
It looks like Red Bull.
Paying attention to that.
Red Bull created that. It's a $3 energy drink. I don't know what's in it, but it's the most expensive thing at 7-Eleven. And they've got really good commercials that dudes doing backflips and shit, jumping off airplanes and then landing on, I don't know, snowmobiles and shit. It was like the original GoPro commercial. Sorry, what's up?
Yeah. No, I know. I've seen all of those.
The Brew Show.
Hey, Trent. What's up, man? The local big brewery here, Medalla, which makes Medalla, which is like the local light lager. They started working with this street artist and designer for the new can design, and they also quite a bit long time ago changed, and people didn't notice, and they changed from 12-ounce to 10-ounce cans, but the cans that they're using are almost the same width, so they feel the same in your hand.
Yeah,
when you grab a 12-ounce can and when you grab one of their cans, it's 2 ounces less, but it feels like the 12-ounce can.
Yeah.
So they did that a few years ago. Now they have the new design.
You're making me thirsty.
Everybody's loving the new cans, and of course all the younger people now, because they just had a promo thing, campaign thing with I don't know if you ever heard of Bad Bunny, who is a Puerto Rican rapper dude.
No.
They just had a large campaign which was tied to his name. Didn't have him personally, but they sponsored his concerts and all that. So young people gravitate towards whatever's cool, even if it tastes like shit. I'm not saying their beer tastes like that. They make good beer. I like their beer, but it's just a marketing thing. It's the way it's presented.
I'll give you that. They market to that, but I think that the can thing is a huge new kind of user interface thing. I mean, there's a million social media platforms out there of people putting pictures on the internet. Why are some more successful than others? The can thing, just what you were talking about, like making an 8-ounce can is kind of like you're in control. Like you can hold 2 at a time or drink 2. And then shortly after that, because it started with Red Bull, as far as I can remember, the can. And then they all tried to do it, Go Girl, cocaine, and then an energy drink called cocaine. I looked that up. And then it went look it up. Look at cocaine energy drink. I'm not kidding. And then it obviously went to hard seltzers, and then everybody flocked to that style. Because imagine a hard seltzer in a 12-ounce Coke can. Like imagine if what's it, Snow White, White Claw, whatever the claw. Imagine if it went to a 12-ounce can. You're like, this is weird. This is just weird.
Yeah.
I don't want it anymore. And then the Starbucks guys started ripping it off. Maybe before. Maybe the Starbucks double shots were clearly after Red Bull, but before hard seltzer. But it's just this can of like, I can just carry it around. I can fall. I'm not going to break glass. I don't need to commit to a 12 ounces of it, like a giant Four Loko can or a big pint. Like you could just drink these things and then throw it away and just crack another one. The can is the success of White Claw. The can is the success. It's great presentation.
The presentation, man.
It's the awesome. Best presentation. The can.
They should pay their
trash
designers
that you throw away.
And you don't recycle, yeah.
Next time we go to the liquor store, not even liquor store, the grocery store, just look at things they put in that can form now. There's probably Corona Light. There's probably
Oh yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
5-hour energy drink pill shit. It's the can, and I guarantee you,
Keystone.
all that Keystone. That'd be weird. You're drinking Keystone Lights now in this little like Virginia Slim can, because that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like the Cruella Deville, skinny,
You mean
long.
the
Yeah,
cigarette, the Virginia Slims?
yeah, that would be
Very
funny,
stylish,
dude. We have a joke in here, Jorge. We should write for Saturday Night Live. There's a joke where instead of, like the hard seltzer is the new Virginia Slim, but it's the can that's what, 1.5 inches, but it's not 8 inches. It's like 4 toilet paper rolls long, but it's only like a 24 ounce. It's only a pint. Everyone's gonna drink everything. Like the skinniest can. It's like, dude, we just have to one up White Claw and Starbucks.
You can drink
and-
it like this. Like
yeah,
so
you
stylish.
drink it like that, and it's 6 feet long, but it only comes down to about a pint or a tall boy or something. That'd be funny.
Super wasteful, like
Yeah,
ridiculous.
because glass has kind of a bad rap. Like Chris Vodka just brought up, like 40 ounces and Mad Dog 2020, MD 2020. It's just
22 ounces of Rogue.
yeah,
Stone Brew.
King Cobra, all that stuff.
Arrogant Bastard.
That's another joke. Imagine seeing Country Club or OE 800 in the little Starbucks 8-ounce can that you can hold in your hand. Imagine if they started selling those and it just fucking blew up. Everyone's buying Old English or High Gravity or whatever. It's just the can, the power of the can. As soon as you put it in the can, the genie comes
You
out.
can put it
man.
in your shirt pocket.
Yeah, man. OE Country Club, Red Dog. Remember Red Dog? Mad Dog and Red Dog.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Power
Shit.
of the can, man. Power. Steel Reserve Slims.
You
Yes.
can take it golfing.
Yes. Yes. It's gonna get that Hollywood shine. Pay who's the Meryl Streep to rock this in a scene. Give her $1 million. Everyone's buying it now, man. Steel Reserve.
For sure.
Steel Reserve in the format of Red Bull is hilarious. That's funny as shit, man.
Well, the canned cocktails now is a thing also, which is I'm sure contributing to the lack of us being able to get cans most of the year. Canned cocktails, hard seltzers, sodas, beer,
Yeah, that's a weird one though. That one's
water.
That's a really weird one because for decades it was shit cocktails in those cans. And now what's the owner of Ballast Point? The new owner, what's their brand called? Cutwater. Cutwater. Yeah.
Oh, hot water. They have a new. Okay, I haven't seen that.
So when Ballast Point sold out to Constellation for $1 million, they had to put it in writing that they would never open up a brewery ever again. That was part of them getting probably more money than they should have. But they're like, okay, but you never said we couldn't do cocktails.
Other drinks.
Yeah, but the bummer about their drinks, here's the problem with Cutwater. People drink their drinks and you have that mentality of like, hey, this is a 5% beer. They're not. It's a 12% beer and you drink 2 and you get fucked up. You can't drink 12% stuff all day.
No.
Nobody
It's
can.
Low volume.
What?
It's a low volume thing. It's not something that's gonna sell as much as hard seltzer because it's 12%.
It's a bottle of wine. Who wants to drink? Hey, we're at the beach. What do you want? Like a White Claw or a Coors Light 4? No, give me the Cutwater double mojito Bloody Mary 13.5%. It's like, okay, my girlfriend can have one, and then I got to carry her ass home. I don't even want to drink this stuff.
I can't have even one because I can't drive through that.
Cutwater
Yeah, they had the
Spirits.
12 ounce, the bulky 12 ounce cans. The Cutwater Spirits.
What's their number one seller? It's got to be
tequila,
margarita. It's got to be
vodka.
margarita, right? It's got to be.
I've talked to people who actually brew these things in like large quantities at once, and they say the best sellers are always the variety packs. That is very important to have a variety pack because that's always the biggest seller of everything, like by a lot, So it's very interesting. They have Tiki Rum and Mai Tai here, Vodka Mule.
I mean, I got to give them some credit. Oh, my God. Some places are like, are you 21 or up? Yes or no. These guys are making me type my whole bullshit in. 04 1985. Canned
Yeah,
cocktails.
there's one here that's 5.9.
That's not the one I've had.
No, so they scaled back the. Oh, see.
No.
So now they
This
have-
one's 12 and a half.
No, tequila margarita is 12.5. Tequila paloma is 7. Wow, 7%. That's not. Yeah.
What is
We
ranch
gotta do
water?
session,
I thought
man.
ranch water was a brand. I didn't know it was a style.
Ranch water is. I think ranch water is a brand.
I thought it was
I
so
think there's an
too.
actual- Well, I'm probably wrong. See, ranch
So here's 10%. That's too much, man. And no one's ever going to crack this and then pour it into a nice martini glass. You're going to chug it like it's the rhythm of a beer.
Well, for what it costs and what the type of taxes that these things pay, I'm not sure if this is actually a good idea to have something that high in alcohol. Because
Yeah, this is a weird
mixing
format.
alcohol in this way, the tax is a lot higher. The excise tax is a lot higher.
This is weird.
So I don't know, man. Maybe they just sell a bunch of the vodka soda mixed pack, which is 5%. They probably sell more of that.
Hey, maybe this guy
for
should have just
real.
taken that $1 billion, not done
Maybe they don't
this,
give a
and
shit.
just played golf every day.
Yeah.
Like Tom
don't
from
give a shit.
MySpace. I'm gonna look up one more other thing. Here we go.
Good idea. Just go on vacation, bro.
Okay,
Just-
whiskey and gin and tonic in a can. Here we go. 6.2%. Why would you do that? Why would you have a 13% and then a 6.2%, but it's the same, like gin and tonic and margarita? To us, it's just 140% drink.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why you go so high to that low, but hey, man. Rum canned cocktails. Tiki rum Mai Tai. Generally, Mai Tais have the most booze in it. Let's see it. 12.5%. See, I don't like... This guy goes from high to low, man. So this is the dude that once started Sculpin and Ballast Point. So, you know, the sky's the
Really?
limit. This is the guy. This is Sculpin, bro. Look at the font. You didn't put that together?
The
Looks like-
design, yeah.
Yeah.
Typeface is kind of-
So they said, hey, man, you can never brew ever again. So he took the...
I'm gonna make
Yeah,
water,
and
bro.
I'm gonna take the exact same font as Ballast Point. Hey, good for him, man. Do you know the guy? It's like a
Yeah.
guy that's I think he's Middle Eastern. He's maybe like 10 years older than
No
me.
idea.
Let me pull
I
this
have
up.
no idea. Rum mojito. I'm seeing a rum mojito, which comes in a different can. It's a 12-ounce can, but it's like the slim ones. Very interesting.
Kings and Convicts. No, that's
Kings
not
and
it.
Convicts.
No. That's the new owner. No.
That's the new one.
No, that's the Chicago bullshit. Ballast Point, San Diego owner. I forgot his name. I always get confused with the guy that owns Google and YouTube. He's a barrage. I haven't met him, but he is wildly, obviously successful, and it's inspiring. Ballast Point employees. Oh my God, do I have to text somebody?
I'm trying to
Just
scroll
type in
up
who
here,
started
but
Ballast Point. This is how it's going to come up. There's no way he's only 10 years older than me. Founded in 96. God, man. You remember when Ballast Point, founded by Jack White. It's not Jack White. It's another dude. Remember when Sculpin was the
the best IPA ever.
best ever, man?
Remember grapefruit sculpting, which was like
I remember all of them.
the hype beer for like a couple years there. Was totally everybody was making. Even Sam Adams made a grapefruit IPA because of grapefruit sculpting, because it was so fucking popular. Everybody started making grapefruit IPA, specifically grapefruit, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then they did habanero.
White?
No, it's not
Think?
Jack White.
Jack,
White Stripes?
well,
Ugh.
it's a pretty common name.
No, this dude's he's not white. This is gonna drive me crazy, but whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's Cutwater is Sculpin though. Jack White
That guy.
is a lot older than the guy who I'm talking about. This guy started this in '92 a homebrew store. That's such a rad story, though. Starting a homebrew store in 1992, and then you open up your brewery in 96 called Ballast Point in Point Loma in San Diego. I was just there, and I should bring this up because Point Loma is phenomenal, and I'll bring that up because that was the original Ballast Point. But God, what was this guy's name? Pete Ahern?
It's just like Larry Bell. That story you just told. Larry Bell started from Bell's Brewery, started with a homebrew shop. Also.
Ballast Point, San Diego. Okay, Ballast Point was the first micro distillery in San Diego since Prohibition. The brewery was sold to Constellation Brands for $1 billion in 2015. God, that feels like it was yesterday. Its distillery
$1 billion.
in 2015, which is like right when I got into craft beer. Cutwater Spirits, Anheuser-Busch. Is this the same bullshit article? I give up.
Yeah, it's
I mean, we're live. I can't read an article right now. Sergi? I'm just naming off the guys I know in Google. Whatever, man. What up, Ron Barnes? What's up? Youssef. Thank you. Thank you, Youssef. Thank you, Ron Barnes. Good looking out. Youssef. Why would his name not show up? Youssef Cherney. There it is. Okay, all right. See, the chat always has the answers. Here's this brunch.
Yes. It's the best chat like in the internet,
Dude,
for sure.
These guys know
I mean
it's
that.
not Pete Ahern, man. Thank you, Ron Barnes, man.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
Can I say something? Can I say something about that, about the chat? Because
Yeah, what's up?
I'm part of it, but the truth is that every time you see somebody new come in here, there's never any gatekeeping ever.
What's gatekeeping?
Like
mean?
somebody has like the most innocent question, and it gets answered, and people have recommendations and things to say, and it's never gatekeeping, and there's never any assholes in here.
No.
Everybody's pro beer. Everybody wants to,
Learn about beer.
share.
Even though I'm a retired
Which is,
poser.
which is what this channel is about, right?
Yeah.
This is what Homebrew for Life is about. It's about sharing stuff and learning together and all that shit. So shout out to the chat, man.
Shout out to the chat, man. Much love, man. I got to get Gnome, and I want to get all the Texas guys in here, man, because those guys showed me a really good time, man.
How was your trip, man? Like in general, I'm not asking for details, but did you get to see Alias's rat cars and all that?
No, I mean, I'm not into cars. Texas definitely has its pros and cons. From Knoxville, I mean, Texas is huge. Like everyone drives 100 miles per hour. Knoxville, San Diego, and LA, you can't really drive fast anymore because there's so much traffic. But in Texas, everywhere you go is about 20 minutes. And that's the exact opposite of pretty much anywhere else I've ever lived. San Diego, I stay on the coast. There's traffic in some parts. There's bumper to bumper stuff, but you're really not going that far. Like if we, like me, Allianz, or just like, hey, we want to go get barbecue, and then we want to go get a brewery. Allianz is like, oh, it's only like 25 miles down the road. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, just like hop in the car. He just like zips through there, and he's bobbing and weaving, hitting the signals on. I'm not used to that at all. No. So, yeah, we hit the brakes one time and skid out, and I was like, whoa, I've never done that in my entire life. And Noam and Allianz was like, yeah, like I'm cool as a clam. And I was like, no, I thought like for sure we were gonna die. Texas is just different, and not only that, but I feel like I saw 3 car accidents in Texas. We saw some bad ones. Yeah, people drive fast. People drive fast as fuck. Yeah, so I'm not used to that because in Knoxville, I go anywhere in 3 minutes, and I'm never on a highway. I'm never on a highway in Knoxville unless I go to the airport, which I love about. What's up?
A lot of hills in that area of the States, right? More hills and more like it's not as a big highway. I mean, I know there's big highways, but it's not the same as the space is not the same as in
What happened to
in Texas. Texas feels very expansive. I mean,
paying your bill? We lost you,
Braj.
Braj. What happened to
Can
him?
you hear me?
Yeah. Let me try it again. We can hear
We're
you.
here
Let me go
to-
to.
Mhm. I'm
Okay,
still
so it's
here.
acting up on. Let me kill it and we'll start it again. Join video call. There he is. So I'll say this here. There's only 54 people here. So I came out to Knoxville on a whim, and it could have been like Texas. I love Texas. I love Austin. I could never live there. I could never live, and it's so hot. Everything's too spread out. Me, Aliaz, and Noam are hanging out at a bar at 10 o'clock, and as soon as you go outside, I just start sweating, and it's so hot. I look at Aliaz. I'm like, hey, man, like, are you hot? And he's like, nah, this is normal to me. You got to remember the Californians are pussies. We get super cold, and we get super hot. And for whatever reason, I haven't had a problem with that in Knoxville, but Knoxville is the best city I've ever been to. Like, it's just for me. Like, from where I was in California in a past life, just a burnout fucking loser, cultural alcoholic, like everywhere you went, we just drink, like when I'm by myself, I read a book and I this and that, but that's like one day a week. Golf, drink, high school friends drink, guys that are cool from high school, maybe a couple guys that burned out forever like me, were every night. Hey, because I don't have a family or a kid or a real 9-to-5 job. So I'm always like, hey, like, let's just let's get a beer. And I'm like, I'm down. Unless I really don't like you, I'm down. So for me to come out to Knoxville was the best polar opposite balance of life that I could have done. And Knoxville, Jorge, is like too green. Like, you come out to Texas and there's like fern gullies everywhere you look. It's not green hills like Napa or Ireland. Napa and Ireland are kind of similar, just green hills that go on forever. There's just like, you'll see something that should be a forest or a canyon, but there's just green hills over there that looks like it's like Jumanji or a rainforest. And I don't know anybody here. One of my old school best friends told me he's going to move out here. He's moving out here on Thursday. It's the worst news I've ever heard. It's literally like the most bummed out thing I've ever been bummed out on in years. It's you ever seen the movie? Because he sucks as a human. He's just a really bad dude. He was in my Knoxville video. I've known him forever, but he's just a really, really, really bad human. And he's burned all of his bridges in San Diego. And he just thinks that since I've known him for 30 years, he can just come in and like bomb in my world. And it sucks.
So he's gonna do what we're gonna do to Clawhammer. If you move to Asheville, just hang out there.
Way worse. No, I'm talking to a guy who's like borderline, like probably gonna get killed out here.
I know.
No. This guy will probably he gets in a lot of bar fights and he gets in a lot of trouble in California. Moving to the South and trying to start over again in a small city is a very bad fucking plan of action. If you're bad blood and maybe you realize it, maybe you don't. Maybe you have serious victim mentality and you never see that the problem is you. Moving to a smaller town is not the answer. Unless you want to get like clean and sober, go to church, become this whole new born again person. So other than that, like, it's kind of fucking my Knoxville world up because I'll go out to eat. Yeah, because I'll go out to eat and I'll see in the back of my mind he's just gonna like show up and like jump on my back or like do all this dumb shit.
He's not moving with you, right? He's just moving to the city.
Oh no, I'd get a restraining order against him. No, I would. No, I really would. No, it's everybody in San Diego is fucking laughing their asses off right now. They're gonna have a parade when this dude leaves. And he's just like the worst fucking guy who's ever lived. I've just known him since like Pop Warner though. But I'm pretty bummed off that. But if it's too big of a thing, like he keeps showing up uninvited, I'll get the cops involved, they get a restraining order. And that probably still won't stop him. Then I would have to move to like Johnson City or out. He's that fucking gnarly of a human. Like he'll probably end up in prison or dead before he's 50. Yeah. So this sucks.
A restraining order will stop him. I mean,
No, it
it's
won't.
not-
No. This guy, no, it won't. This guy, when he gets on, he does a lot of drugs and alcohol, and no, this guy sucks pretty fucking hard, like harder than anybody I've ever met, and he's like one of our like childhood best friends. But when he's gonna come out here, I've told everybody I'm cutting off all distance from him. He fights a lot in San Diego. People out here, I'm probably the only dude that doesn't have a fucking gun. It's not like the Wild Wild West. They're gonna shoot you up, but it's really bad news. This guy's coming out here.
Just don't fuck with people. Yeah.
He's gonna have a Tesla with California plates, honking at everybody, cutting people off, and like flicking people off on the road. That's like something you just don't do in Knoxville. That's a hard fucking no.
just speaking from someone who lives in a place kind of like that, I wouldn't do it here too. You know.
Oh, and the bummer about this is I kind of have mind control over this guy. I can calm him down until he's at like full peak cocaine, like peak partying animal. But he can kick my ass because it's happened like 3 times. So it's kind of like big brother, little brother, mind control over him. But other than that, Knoxville is fucking dandy, man. It's all hunky dory, man.
I started asking you about Texas, and you just went to Knoxville. You went back to Knoxville.
No, I
mean, I don't spoil your video. I know there's a video coming. Probably.
There's a video coming. I could never live in Austin, but I love it. Aside from the goddamn Mexican food, best barbecue in the world. Me and Noah were cracking up. It's like
Mexican food in Austin.
It's not Mexican food. It's like white Tex-Mex dinosaur nugget taquitos, microwave for 3 minutes with spicy, shitty ketchup hot sauce. It's horrible.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's a serious reality to cultures. You know, like San Diego has the best Mexican food. Texas has the best barbecue, way better than Knoxville. Yeah, have you ever had really good Mexican food? I'm sorry, really good barbecue. Like I'm talking about a barbecue place where they sell out at 2.
Not proper like American barbecue.
Well, here's how it works in Texas. I've never seen this before. The guys are up all night on the brisket, and people are waiting in line 5, 6, 7 in the morning, and sometimes they sell out at 2 p.m. That doesn't happen in California. Not in San Diego. That happens in Texas all the time. That doesn't happen in Knoxville.
Get pilgrimage too.
They get what?
Get pilgrimage to go. They do like a pilgrimage to go to those places. You know, they just make it a thing to get there from other parts of the world and everything to those barbecue places in Texas. There's plenty of videos on YouTube where it's like,
is he here?
This guys who travel the world.
The ice machine. I think it's this fucking dude. I'm sorry, I'm listening. I heard the ice machine clicking over there. I thought it's the old Stifler from American Pie on cocaine is moving to Knoxville. The worst person ever times 10 is entering my world. Yeah.
I'm sure you can. I hope you can. I hope you can live in peace, man, because it sucks. That sucks.
At the end of the day, it comes down to my willpower. He could live next door. He can legally move to Knoxville. Oh my God, he was fucking sending me Trulia houses on my street, on my 1400 block.
So he's gonna buy a house.
I just wrote back. I'm like, no, dude. Nobody on planet Earth wants to be like this. He has no concept of when he's not welcome or nobody wants him around. It's just like, what about Bob? Just like, hey, I'm going to show up, no shame. And then when you do tell him, like, hey, man, like nobody here wants you here. Everybody would have a way better time if you weren't here. They get like so emotional. They start crying. It's like, we're over 30 years old. You can't, hey, you showed up uninvited. We told you to go home. Why are you emotional about this? Like, this is a wedding. You need to leave. He needs counseling.
He needs professional.
Yeah.
Professional help.
All right. Enough about me. I'm gonna use the restroom really fast. Jorge, hold it down, Brush.
Yeah, man, you got it.
All right. 10 more minutes with Jorge.
What do you got? Let me see the chat here. Somebody asked me earlier. I think I saw the question. What was my favorite beer from the States? I have, of course, many. Uh, if I was just going to name one, I would say Bell's Two Hearted from Michigan. I don't know if everybody gets that in their state, but we've been getting bells out here in the island for over 10 to 12 years now. And Two Hearted is it's always, always around. We actually are one of those territories that gets Oberon year round too, which is their wheat beer. Uh, it's very interesting because if you go to Michigan, you can only get it certain parts of the year, and if you're in Puerto Rico, you can get it year round. And Bell's is a great brewery. It's one of the best breweries that wasn't known all around the states back maybe even 6 years ago or something. It was more of like a regional brewery, and a lot of people. I had friends in New York about 10 years ago that were like couldn't get Bell's in New York, so they're very, very, very good brewery. Gus Brava says, "Have you messed around with CBD infused beers?" I have not, but I would love to. Uh, I would love to. I would love to do THC also, but of course, I will have to do it within just for dispensaries and all that. But I would love to do CBD for sure. It's more that sometimes that's more like a selling point or something than what it really does. But I would love to experiment with all that. I never ever even homebrewed with that, so that's something I'd love to look into. And Larry from Larry's Beer and Barbecue has a really excellent recipe for his high PA, as he calls it. It's THC, I think, IPA. I don't want to get in trouble. Brew show. The only thing I remember from PR is Ocean Lab Brewing. Yeah, it's previously mentioned Ocean Lab. Gotta come back for some horse brew. Yeah, Trent, would love to have you over, man. Anytime. If you ever come back, give me a ring, bro. I have two articles I'm looking forward to brewing. Yeah, brewing bad, dude. That's very simple recipe. I believe it's all centennial, bittering and flavoring and dry hop and all that. Uh, yeah, it's one of the most used beers for cloning for homebrew competitions. Very aside from Sierra Pale Ale, Too Hard. It's yeah, ubiquitous. Uh, let's see what do we got. I wanted to do a THC beer. Joseph Crawford says, "I wanted to do a THC. But worry about the fading effect. The fading effect. Yeah, I guess you have to use very little and get it somehow in there. I don't know. I have to read about it more. High PA, lol. Get halfway and then fall over. Yeah, me too. I would probably share that with even if he has very little of the THC, I would probably share that with somebody. Brashford says, "I wish there was a smaller version of Tank 7. Tank 7 comes in 12-ounce bottles, I think. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe you wish there was something smaller than that. You got, what do you got here?
Great work, Jorge. You passed the first test.
Yeah. I
Solio.
love Tank 7. Yeah, me too, Jaggers.
I just went to the spa. How's it going in here?
Yeah, we're talking about Tank 7. You know Boulevard Brewing from Kansas City, I think. They are owned by Duvel now. Duvel. They're owned by those Belgian guys, and they do great beer. We had in Puerto Rico for a long time. They do great IPAs and a lot of Belgians. They do a lot of Belgian style beer.
You got one more beer in you, Jorge? And by one more beer, I mean I'm gonna drink a 12-ounce of Sierra Nevada hazy. I'm not ending on this shitty. I'll drink it fast.
You got it, man.
Okay.
I'm honest.
I know you got to get up early, and we're on the same time. We'll get up. I'll get up at 7:30.
I'm scrolling back here to see what I think I missed Bradford's other part of the question. Shit. Okay, this is hard to do on the phone, but anyway. Yeah, Optimum's coming out soon. I think Optimum is Bell's beer. I think, right? Or is it Sierra Nevada James Pillar? Optimum. Is that Sierra Nevada CH?
Optimum,
IPA?
yeah. Optimum.
Is that Sierra
Word pun.
Nevada?
Optimum.
Okay.
Optimus Prime.
Optimum.
Later, Goose Frobbies. Oh, later, Chris Vodka. Later, Braj. See, here's what I love about the
Thanks,
stream,
Elise.
man. We're always learning shit. We're always learning about places to go and backstories. You know what really was interesting tonight? Is we started talking.
What's that?
You know what was really interesting tonight? Is we were talking about like what came first, the chicken or the egg with Truly or hard seltzer. And that was funny that
Yeah, I saw. I didn't know that they had bottles of that shit before. That's cool.
and it wasn't hard seltzer. It was sparkling white wine or sparkling something. People were trying to figure out that word for whatever it was, man. I just can't get hard seltzer out of my brain. It was under everyone's nose the whole time. Hard coffee, hard seltzer, hard water, hard ice.
Hard water.
Hard ice sounds like heroin.
That's the brand from MIA. Miami has hard water, and it's HRDWTR. That's the branding for their seltzer.
Hard water.
It says if anyone is able to get that heady topper, let me know. We can get a trade for it. I never had that
Hard
beer.
heady
It's
topper?
a legendary heady topper from the
Wow.
Alchemist in Vermont.
You can't get it down there in Puerto Rico?
No, we don't get it here. But it's legendary for having to be drunk fresh because it's if it's a little old. It's not the same thing.
No, me,
You're
no,
probably-
yeah, no. Aliaz and I were just talking about that, and somebody made the video about that, doing not a heady topper, but Pliny the Elder. What's the more popular one now? Pliny the Elder. Pliny the Elder.
Well, the one that's cars is that's not available all the time. I think it's Pliny the Younger, but I'm not sure.
no,
Pliny the Younger is the one that's readily available. I think.
one of them was
I
more
think-
popular 10 years ago. People would wait outside, and there'd be a whole dog leg left or dog leg right. So whatever the one it is
that's
right
younger.
now, it's not that, because I feel like they're going to come out in 10 years and be like, hey, this is
Maybe the eldest or something.
Pliny the Younger.
Triple, quadruple dry hop.
Either way,
version.
we were talking about this. What's up?
$17 a can. I'm sorry.
$17 a can.
This-
Younger is the triple. But somebody did that
Yeah,
video. Somebody did that video. We're like, hey, we're going to take a Pliny from just got bottled this month versus a Pliny from 6 months ago. And everybody says it's night and day, which gives credit to the hops, because me and Noah were talking about this 3 nights ago. It was like, what's the whole fresh by, or when do people swear by hops? Because hops are, a real thing that can go bad.
Very,
What's the optimum freshness of a hop? 90 days?
for a beer like that, is after a month it starts fading. But it's what
do you mean a beer like that?
Dry hop.
A small
Or beer
batch
like
of using
Alchemist.
fresh hops?
For whatever, what is it called? Heady topper or Pliny the Younger, which is heavily
this
dry
beer's
hop, if
good.
I'm not mistaken.
It's the best beer of all time.
So I'm sure it's after a month it's not the same as when it's fresh. But it's a little hard to get rid of that much beer in a month too. It's very difficult.
True.
So 3 months I think it's good.
True.
After that, I don't know, man.
Yeah, fresh
Fred-
is a real thing,
Fred
man.
likely.
Especially with hazy, with heady topper, because you have to worry about the freshness of the hops and the yeast. But really quick, I saw the brew
Maybe
show. He's
up
in
to
here.
that.
I want to give a shout out to the brew show really fast. He had a great video this week. Jorge, you still watch us brew tubers?
I did. Saw
on
the
that
video.
vape life
It's
out
pretty-
there,
I actually
Braj?
fell asleep watching it last night, but it was very
Oh,
funny.
you fell
Very good
asleep?
and very nicely
You
shot.
fell asleep to watching the brew show's
Well,
content, man?
I was.
Tell me
I
how you
was
really
in bed.
feel.
I was in bed already, bro.
I'm kidding.
Dude,
No,
I
I'm
was,
kidding.
I was bored.
Yeah, Dick Tracy.
I was actually having fun.
No,
But
it was.
looked
There was a lot
amazing.
going on this week, man. Craft Beer Channel and Clawhammer had a
Yes,
collab.
Clawhammer.
Yeast in
Yeah,
the Barrage.
and Brian from
Yeah.
Elementary and Yeast.
Yeast in the
also
Barrage.
put out a video.
And Martin from Homebrew Challenge. That was cool.
And did you see that the deep hopping from Brian from Elementary? The deep hopping videos, which is a technique that people are using now instead of dry hopping.
I did see that.
You add a bunch of hops. You add 180-degree water with your dry hops,
I saw
in
that.
the fermenter before
Yeah.
you rack into it.
And I liked it. I saw that and I liked
That's
it. I mean, I
awesome.
didn't like the video. I mean, I probably liked the video, but I liked the experimentation. Yeah.
It's awesome.
No,
I
no,
want to
no.
try it in the big brewery.
No, this is the first. This like Homebrew for Life will be back making beer again this month. I'm calling it
Really?
quits. Yeah. Homebrew for Poser. Homebrew for. I'll make because that was my whole joke. Like I wanted to rip on Josh Wiseman for making beer once. And I was like, why the fuck? When are you gonna brew, you piece of shit? I didn't get one comment.
What are you talking about?
Homebrew for twice a year. Yeah. Homebrew for seasonally, I don't know. Homebrew quarterly.
I'm gonna be honest.
What's up? Let's hear it, Jorge.
No, just using that I'm gonna be honest line with I'm gonna be honest. I don't really
brew like the beer.
that much.
Yeah. No, man, he's going to exploit my favorite hobby. I know about beer and I know about retro video games. Anytime either you guys hear me talk, whether it's fishing or kayaking or whatever, I'm bullshitting. But I do know about beer and I know about video games. And I could tell that he didn't. He can exploit my hobby, and I'm going to exploit his name. Not that I exploited it.
Yeah.
I got about 10,000 views. That's kind of normal for, a video on my channel that's uploaded within a month.
I didn't check the comments. Did you get a lot of trolls?
Not really. No, because when I made that video, I provided a lot of context for the first 4 minutes. And then, did you watch the video?
Yeah.
Where's the comment, Brash? Where's the Jorge Castro, man?
Oh,
no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know.
But I did look at I did look at Kyle's video, Climber video, and I could just tell that most people are going to be like, "Hey, you're just bitching that he's bigger than you, and that he can do this." And I wanted to kind of set myself up where I could provide enough context and make fun of myself and the homebrewing community, and then go after him. So I think it kind of worked for the people that did watch the video.
Well, that's even more effective though, because you're not saying I'm better. You're just saying this is bullshit, and I'm just gonna say that. I'm not saying I'm better. I'm not saying I can do whatever. I'm better than him at brewing, or
I'm not better than anybody.
If I'm better or not.
No, I'm not better than anybody. Beer is art, man, and
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, kind of my pulse for this whole video was that I don't know if I went to Kyle about it or he went to me, but we've been talking about it for a while. Beer comes down to recipe, execution, and method. There's 3 things. It's like I think the biggest question for any home brewer is just what to buy. I don't think they care what they make. I don't think they care that it takes 3 days or 5 days or a year or a month. People just want to brew beer because it's cool. And I think the number one question is just, what do I buy?
Yeah, because that will determine if they stay in it or not.
No, it was funny, 100%. And I just remember, for whatever reason, I did an extract batch almost a year ago. Todd sent me an extract batch, and I did it, and there was no glass carboy, and the only thing I subbed out was the Kvike yeast, and it was such good beer. And I remember Gnome gave me some beers, and I used that to bottle it, and it tasted just like Carlsbad Chronic from Pizza Port. And I was like, you know what? Some batches of beer you do and you feel fucking really good about, and some batches you're like, or some batches you're like, this sucks. That was a batch of beer that I felt really good about. And I was like, you know what? The number one thing, because I think like a month before that, Trent and I had done Mr. Beer Kit stuff, and it sucked. It was horrible. You know those little fishbowl aquarium things that looks like a piggy bank?
Yeah.
So
I saw the video.
So I went from that to making that. And I was like, you know what? I think this is the best video for someone to actually not the best video. I'm sorry, the best system. Mm-hmm. And then, the Naked Eye Brewer, they're not going to know about Belgian, and why would you ever add fruit on your first batch of beer? That just goes to show you that you're just bullshitting harder beyond repair. It's like, hey, today we're going to do an oil change channel. Why would we do an oil change channel? It's just like, throw some fucking weird shit in the exhaust while we're at it. It's like, what? Like what? I don't know. But no. To go back to the question, no, I got like one troll. I got one troll. Kyle got a lot more trolls than I did. Yeah.
That's cool though.
I don't think
But it
Kyle.
speaks to the fact that the way that you actually did it, it's effective to kind of calm down and see, well, he's actually making fun of himself and he's actually telling the truth about Josh, blah, blah, blah. So it works, man. It worked.
Yeah.
It didn't flop.
No, it's not a reaction video. Well, here's the thing, because we talked about this before. So, Prost with Peter did a video, and he just kissed his ass the whole time. He was like, hey, this is great. Everything's great. Great. Kyle did it, and he looked like, hey, man, I'm just jealous I don't have 3 million views. I'm fucking jealous, too. But, like, let's run a couple circles around let's write a couple more things down. I kind of went at it with, and I wrote some things down like, I'm going to apologize at the end. Like, it's my name in his mouth and this guy's, a millionaire and I'm the fucking poor struggling artist, whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for blood. And then the Joffrey thing kind of came into it. I don't know if you watched the end because people were like, dude, you can't make this.
Story?
Game of Thrones Joffrey. There was a couple of people I did talk to, and they're like, "I think this is a bad idea." And I remember going back to the whole. Yeah, I remember going back to the whole. What do they say? Like, all press is good press. Yeah, until it comes down to you being accused as like a rapist, a child murderer, someone who has sex with young boys. Other than that, I'm like, okay, I'm not any of that. I'm just talking shit. Okay, let's do it. Let's go for it. And I ran some of these clips by Kyle. I was like, what was the clip? It was Zoolander walking in to clean the mines for the first day. And I was like, this just a douchebag coming in, Johnny fucking Macho. And Kyle started laughing his ass off. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use all this shit. And I don't know, man. At the end of the day, the guy makes fucking $100 million a month, and I make insufficient funds every month. My net worth is insufficient funds.
I don't know if he makes that much money, but
no, because I have friends that were super into Josh Wiseman. I talked to about it, and they were like, in the beginning, his channel was all about tutorials and this and that, but now it's just like views and clickbait. Just crank out like 3 minute taquito, 3 minute this, like $2 this, $2 sandwich, $2 this. He's making money. Right. When your audience is kind of seeing a little bit behind the curtain, that's a problem. Because it should look organic. Like, hey, today I really want to make this banh mi sandwich or this sous vide thing. But if everything's like, do it in 2 minutes, do it in this, and I maybe kind of do that with home brewing too much. But I have some organic friends that are like, yeah, his videos are, it's just, he's just going for views. Like maybe, but whatever, man. They fucking at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get paid.
Yeah,
but I had a good time making that video.
That's cool, man. It was good. It's
shirts off party.
It's that guy's no Binny with Babish. I love Binny with Babish.
Oh, I love him and Sam the cooking guy, man. Who's your favorite cooking?
I'm the cooking guy.
Sam the cooking guy.
Yeah. Probably Sam. I have a couple of people I see from Spain and all that, but Sam, I love Sam. Sam is
first super chat of the night.
Oh, there you go.
We got a super chat, man. It's because Jorge's here, man.
Cool.
Doing a brew this weekend based on very closely to your creamsicle IPA. Hey, shout out to you, Luke, man. You're going to enjoy that beer, man. Cheers. All right, Jorge, tell us why you... What's up?
No, go ahead.
What's up? Why do you like Sam the cooking guy and Bidget with Babish?
I like Sam. I think Sam the cook.
No,
Babish is more like proper, serious kind of thing. But Sam's it's more spontaneous, and I like that. It's just him in his backyard with his son shooting all the video and editing everything. And
I think that's Rancho Santa Fe.
I don't know, man. What's that?
Thanks, Heather. Appreciate that. She was laughing at my bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Sam the cooking guy, he used to do, and I get it, more YouTubers, the name of the game is to try to grow a brand. And there was kind of that relationship with me with homebrewing. But I'll talk about that in a second. But with Sam the Cooking Guy, his videos back in the day were less kind of edited. The way you tell a video is highly produced is voiceover. If a guy is sitting there and just going through it, or a girl like Martha Stewart, she's doing that on the fly for the most part. If someone's voiceovering everything, they're kind of fucking movie magicking the whole thing. People don't see that.
Right.
But it's a fast attention span thing.
Sorry,
Brucio. Sorry, CH. Sorry, everybody. What's up?
What's that? No. I mean, Sam is more also speaking in front of the camera. Also, I mean, the voiceover thing is there, but he has his a speaking role.
Yeah,
he's always in front of the camera, speaking and showing the food and saying, like, well, you know what I love? He says basically the same thing about onions and stuff like that. In every video, it's the same thing. It's like, remember, you cut against the grain. Remember to, when you want to dice an onion, you go like this, and then you go like this, and then you move it 90 degrees, and you do this in every video.
Right.
And it's part of the educational aspect of it too, because sometimes you gotta think that it's the first time that somebody's seeing you on every video. You should treat every video like this is the first time someone's gonna see me, and they're not gonna know what I'm talking about if I'm talking a bunch of code or talking like people know exactly who or what I'm talking about. I gotta be like, this is the first time everybody's seeing me.
Right, but that's
like that, you know.
But there's two things of that. You either have no idea what you're actually doing, so it's easy to kind of chop up and do voiceover, or B, you're not comfortable on camera for that long. So not a lot of people have that type of experience.
Right.
When I used to watch Sam the Cooking Guy maybe 5 or 10 years ago, like people that used to make cooking videos, think about it, 10 years ago before YouTube, they had to fill up a whole half-hour segment. You know, like Emeril or Gordon Ramsay or Rachel Ray. It's like you're on camera for 22 minutes. People don't have those attention spans anymore. So people want that like binging with Babish thing where it's all voiceover. It's literally just all voiceover. And Sam the Cooking Guy used to be way more kind of like the old school narrative of, hey, we're in the kitchen. We're going to open up this oven. Oops, I just bumped it in there. Looks like it doesn't fit. Let's try another oven. But the way that YouTube is now, it's like you got to be kind of like,
yeah,
because you're competing with everyone's application on their phone. It's not the doorbell. It's not the
landline.
It's not the telemarketer. Someone just got a Snapchat. Boom, they're out. Someone just email, Snapchat, notification, Facebook, whatever. It's like you just lost everything. And, you know, at the end of the day, you don't really owe them anything. They don't owe you anything. You're just trying to.
Yeah, Trent says in the chat that he also voiceovers everything.
I always voice over the because the camera guy wasn't comfortable on camera. No, Trent's videos are fucking phenomenal. But I don't even think what I'm talking about is even relevant nowadays. I'm not saying that if you are in front of the camera and you're doing all this stuff, you know more now. That format's kind of prehistoric. Matter. Yeah, people just want like do.
Yeah.
You know, so
my daughter's 10 years old and she's making videos on her iPad. She's editing and putting audio and fast forwarding stuff inside, putting a video inside another video. She's 10.
Yeah, but different.
It's crazy. It's a very different world.
It is a different world, but different format still has different format. I know if I watch a TikTok or a 99-second, whatever, 59-second YouTube short video, I'm not going to learn shit. And more often than not, I want it to be funny or entertaining. I'm not going to learn an educational thing in there. And if I do, it's probably a viral video. But if you really want to watch something on YouTube, it's going to take about 5 to 8 minutes. It's like, I look at my old YouTube videos, Mexican Lager. I got some clicks on that today. It was like 16 minutes. I was like, I wouldn't fucking watch my own content with a gun to my head. Like I just wouldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And
I wish they were longer. I wish you had like vlogs all the time, like VO vlogs and brew days and shit. I like them. So, but that's
the
just me.
brew days,
I'm already in the cold.
the brew. Thank you, Jorge. But the brew days are different because being live is always a different dynamic. We're live. The people in the chat right now.
No, I don't mean live. Yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Not
what's
live
up?
brew days, but no, I didn't
Just
mean
longer
live brew
videos?
days. I just longer videos. That's just me. Don't listen to me. I'm
No,
not
no,
your
no,
demographic
no.
or whatever.
You know, and it's kind of weird because us brew tubers should have longer videos because our audience isn't young kids. Our audience is like 25 to 55-year-olds that actually are like have a higher average view duration of the average attention span. A, we're older. We're not little kids that just want like a flashy, shiny color to go off. You know, everything's a firework. B, I think we're generally trying to learn something new or see where something went wrong or whether this product was a piece of shit or if it was overpriced or something. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, we want to know more details. Just people who are older are not easily distracted as the really young people who are being brought up in this world of so many distractions. It's not their fault,
no.
They're not doing anything wrong. It's just that the world is that way around.
What are these brothers saying?
An 8-minute video is too long now. It's more of the 1-minute TikTok style stuff.
But my favorite.
That's what.
Sorry, Brush.
No, go ahead.
I've got like maybe 5 homebrew for life videos where I'm like, I'm fucking stoked off this. Maybe not.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, I'll put that Josh Wiseman one in the top 5. More like Todd Porter just said it. More than 7 minutes, never make a video more than 9. Never make it. Because the Jorge Castros that want that long video, you've got to kind of balance it out with that unique visitor, And I loved watching Trent's last video.
What I'm saying.
I haven't watched Clawhammer's news video and craft beer channels, to be honest with you. I almost just click on it, see how many views it has, and I'm fucking out. Sorry, what?
I will. I watch them. I will watch. I haven't yet, but I will watch those because I don't mind those guys. Whatever. It's who cares.
Nah, man. I mean, everyone's different. People put out. There's content I watch where I watch it all the way through, and I put my phone in the other room and I do it, and it's just different, man. You like what you like.
Yeah,
you can't control what you like.
The old Brewing TV videos were like 45 minutes and just them like Hank Chip and all those guys.
Don Osborne.
Don Osborne. I love Don Osborne.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man. He just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, now we're gonna make this pale ale for the 10th time, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna use one more different hop this time. And he doesn't give a fuck. It's like,
yeah, but
it's not trying to be cool or get clicks. It's just there,
I'm trying to be cool and get clicks, and it still doesn't work out. But I mean,
you're cool. You just need the clicks, bro.
What?
It's all you need because you're already cool. So
what's going on with Alias?
Alias?
What happened?
Is he here? Is he on?
No. He's still recovering. He fucking just invited me over to his house for 3 nights, man. Yeah. All right, well, hey, we're coming down to the wire, Jorge. Anything you got for us, Brush?
I don't know, man. Just thank you for letting me hang out.
Of course, brother. Speak of the devil and he shall appears.
Howdy. What's up, Alias? Brown man.
No,
yeah, man. Just thank you for having me, and those people out there, check us out on Instagram. We're Boxlab PR.
100%.
Boxlab PR is my brewery down in Puerto Rico. If you're ever down here, give me a shout. Just shoot me a DM and come see the brewery. I'll buy you a couple beers. We'll hang out.
Charge us triple.
What was that?
Charge us all triple. Wait, I got a question for you. Would it be better if you met me and Alias and probably know him, or who's ever down, in Tampa Bay, or is it better for us to come to you?
Tampa Bay for...
That's just my one last hit list. I'm going to make a clickbait video. Yeah, I'm going to make a clickbait video. Like, I've been to every city in America. I've been to like 12. Half of them I didn't even drink. But I do want to go to Tampa Bay.
Right.
What's up?
Yeah, well, you have to. It's not that far away from you are right now. I'm sure it's not expensive to
Agua
fly there
Dia.
for you.
Agua Dia.
I mean, it's not for us either, but figuring out how to make time for travel right now is pretty difficult without my family.
Yeah.
And my daughter's back in school now, so it's
Yeah, we'll come to you.
I'm too busy.
I forgot.
But
about
yeah,
that
if
part.
you ever, I know you. I know you'll make it down here. I hope.
No, we will.
Those guys can make. It'll be awesome.
We will. We will.
Yeah, all those people out there, man. Check us out. If you're ever down here, you're probably,
Nomski.
I'll treat you to some more beers. And there's a lot of home brewing, really good home brewing here, and a lot of breweries down here in Puerto Rico to check out. Not just ours, and we have a lot of friends in the industry. And there's a lot of really, really, really good restaurants which hardly get any word. There's a lot of really good chefs and cooks here, and I think it's sort of like the unsung place in terms of like culinary.
No, you guys definitely need exposure. You guys need a lot of exposure.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you come down here,
No one gives a shit about the rub. We need beer and food.
from the street. What's that?
We need to drink the craft beer down there and put the craft beer thing on the map. I wish I had 1 billion fucking followers like Cheese Wiseman, but we'll come down there. We'll make a video. I wish we could Cheese Wiseman it like Anthony Bourdain, man. I love Anthony Bourdain. He wasn't a poser.
Just write books and chill out. Just write
Yeah.
books and chill out the rest of your life. Yeah, man.
That'd be sick, man.
That'll be cool. We'll get there. I mean,
Agua
you're close
Dia.
to 40,000. Did I read that well?
You have
Is it you're
40,000?
Close to 40. No, you.
Well, I got to start putting
I
out
don't have a
content
chance.
again, man. All I do is fucking go to Europe on credit card debt. But yeah, I'll figure
No,
it
but
out.
it's like you haven't even mentioned it. That we're close to 40,000. God damn it! It's like 40,000 is a pretty big number of followers,
We're talking about
and it's
me,
pretty.
right?
I think it's pretty
Are you
cool.
talking about your Instagram?
Yeah, Homebrew for life. Homebrew for life. Homebrew for life
Yeah.
is. I think it's.
Well,
that's 40,000 or.
Childhood best friend's going to show up in about 2 weeks. We're going to fight to the death. So enjoy it while it lasts, man. But I'll be on the other side of it. It's going to be like that scene from Step Brothers where they hit each other in the face as they're trying to bury each other alive simultaneously with shovels. What are you doing? I'm burying you. But hopefully I'm the guy that's on the other side of it. No, I'm just kidding, kind of. But we'll be good, man. But no,
Thanks for having me.
yeah, we'll get down there. We'll get down there, man. I gotta find a real job. I'm gonna try to work a real job part time, and then
work at a tap room. Just
what's up?
hours a day or
I
something.
want to do both.
Work at a tap. There's probably tap rooms in there.
I just need a W-2 shit right now. No, we'll figure it out. R.I.P. CH Humber for a bit. Brian Hunt. All right, everybody, man. We are going to PR. We're going to do public relations and PR, and Heather Sharp is coming with us. No more dudes. Too many dudes.
Bring everyone.
Oh, Yeast in the Barrage is in here.
Yeah,
hey,
bring
really
some-
quick. Sorry.
Bring some queer people to come on. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Back off, War Child.
Were you implying that Alia's Yeast in the Beast or Heather Sharp was queer, or did that just happened?
I was not.
What? Okay. Just kidding. No, we're all hanging out, man.
I'm just inclusivity, whatever.
Hey, what's going on? Speaking of which, what's going on with Puerto Rico? Is it still kind of traditional, or is it kind of progressive down there? Is everyone a lot of religion?
The cities it's just like the same. The suburbs are more traditional. The cities are more liberal. It's just like everywhere else. It's exactly the same thing.
All right, good
But
answer.
yeah, you have now somebody like I just mentioned him before, the artist called Bad Bunny, who's actually breaking down a lot of those barriers because
Cool.
he's like a reggaeton artist. It's like really popular. It's like one of the most popular artists in the world right now, and he is sort of like embracing queerness in a way that hasn't been done before, especially in a Latino country, which is very male centered and
Machismo, kind of Johnny
very
fucking
macho.
alpha dog. Yeah.
So I love seeing that. And it's about time. So
Well, right on, man. That's a good story. All right,
We'll
let's
have
get
fun
out.
when you
Let's get
come
out
by.
of here. We're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna bring my friend Gavin. We're gonna hang out. It's gonna be super sick. We're gonna come down there. We're gonna. I'm just kidding. All right, everyone, let's get out of here. Have a good night. Jorge, thank you so much, man. This was fun, dude. And I always learn a lot when you come on, bro.
Oh, me too, man. Shout out to the chat and everybody.
Shout out to the chat.
And really, thank you.
We
Thank
didn't
you for
make
having me, man.
fun
I
of
really
anything,
appreciate
right? We didn't make fun of Brew Cabin or anything. We can keep this one up. We're out of here. Everyone have a good night. Jorge, thank you, man. I'm out of here.
All right,
I'm going to
man.
go
Thank you.
overdose on melatonin.